On today's episode of the Mark Titus Show, the bracket is out. Selection Sunday has come and gone. I'm holding it in my hands, Jake Marsh.
By the way, best thing ever.
Jake Marsh is with us. And we're going to fill out the bracket. I got Barstool college basketball resident expert Jake Marsh joining the show today. We just got done doing the Barstool bracket show where we were just reacting to the bracket in real time live. The second we were done with that show, we walked over to the studio, and we are now going to fill these brackets out. They came out like 30 minutes ago, and we're just gonna dive in. Like I think this is the way to do it, Jake. Is you don't want to overthink it. So we're gonna fill out our brackets today. That's what we're doing. We're giving the people the picks.
Yeah, thank you for having me on. I'm very excited to be on the show and to fill out this bracket. There is no better thing to do in the middle of March than get a pen, get a piece of paper, and write down all the names.
You're a paper guy too.
Always.
Love that about you. Before we do that, we are probably at some point going to have to address the elephant in the room, which is that of all the 68 teams listed in this bracket, Rutgers is not one of them, TJ. We'll talk about it. TJ's microphone is on. He's choosing not to speak, and I don't blame him. He's looking at me as though it is my fault, and it just may be. So we might have to have a therapy session because Rutgers, I am stunned. I'm appalled. I personally am feeling a lot of emotions, and I'm not even the one guy in this outfit who's a Rutgers fan. So we're going to have to talk to TJ and figure this out because I don't understand how Rutgers is not in this tournament, but they're not, Jake. So we're going to do that first. Then Jake and I are going to fill out our brackets and figure out where the hell we're going to go with this thing because that's the appeal of this tournament. Not like this. First of all, this tournament as in the Division I Men's National Championship, but I mean this specific year for this tournament, the 2023 version. It could go a million different ways. It is wide open. We're gonna do our best to make sense of it. But first, all right, we'll fill out our brackets soon enough. Let's talk Rutgers, TJ. I'm not saying this to pander to you. I'm not saying this to. I really am not. I'm not trying to make you feel better or worse or anything. These are my genuine thoughts. Like I am actually shocked. This is one of the most shocking snubs I can ever remember in NCAA tournament history. Because usually when snubs happen, I don't really care that much because I haven't really been paying that much of attention to the bubble. So maybe that's what it was. Like I was more locked in on the bubble this year because of you and Rutgers and all that. But I really did. I meant it from the bottom of my heart when Rutgers beat Michigan and I told you you're safe. I genuinely thought you were safe. So I apologize. I want to start the show off by apologizing.
That's okay.
Because there's obviously a ton of people in this office that are fans of big teams. I think if you were a power rank who is the biggest fan of their team, I would say TJ and Rutgers. I'd say TJ and Rutgers and Frank and Metz.
Frank and Metz. I don't. You know better than me. I don't work out of this office.
Am I missing anyone, TJ?
Yeah.
Huge fans of one specific team.
Right. Yeah. Kind of a niche team, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
TJ's up there. So
TJ's up there. It's very tough. I feel a lot of things, Jake, because TJ and I felt like we had gotten off to a great start with the show. We don't know each other super well, and I'm now projecting my insecurities out there, and I'm saying that there's probably a small part of TJ that's looking at this and who is this fucking guy that steps into my world, promises me that my team will make the tournament, and then they don't make the tournament. How did I end up in this position? It's probably that guy's fault. And that's how I'm feeling sitting in this chair. And I don't know what to do because I did all I could. I thought I said you're in. I tried speaking it into existence. I don't know what happened, TJ. What do we think happened? How mad are you? Mad? Are you sad? Are you?
I'm sad. I'm in darkness right now. It seemed like they didn't care that Mississippi State got blown out in their conference tournament game or Nevada, but they cared that we didn't beat the number one team in the conference, or that didn't matter. And then they talked about injuries. I don't know.
Have there been a statement from Peichel, or is there?
They just said they'll play the NIT because the seniors deserve it.
You know who Nevada was the last team in, by the way. You know who they lost to in their conference tournament? They lost to San Jose State.
Yeah. Who's not terrible, but they're
not terrible, but
yeah. They're better than Purdue, or they're not as good as Purdue. I mean,
Yeah.
Purdue's better than San Jose State.
San
I would
Jose
say.
State lost to Pacific in December.
But I said this on the bracket show we did that this Rutgers not making it, Nevada making it, and Arizona State making it, which I'm not trying to butt those teams out, but also at the same time, someone has to leave if we want to put Rutgers in this thing. Their net rankings being as low as they were, and what was Nevada was 66 and Rutgers was 40. If that isn't proof positive that the net system is stupid and we don't need it and we should never pay any attention to it moving forward, which is how I felt for most of the year. But now it's like, what? I don't want to hear a single goddamn word next year about the net from anybody, literally anybody.
Yeah.
If you have a team that's 40th and a team that's 66th, and the team that's 66 gets in, then obviously it has no bear. And the team that's 40th beat one of your 1 seeds, Purdue, at their place.
Mm-hmm.
I'm mad for. That's why I'm mad on TJ's behalf, because I'm like, dude, this is insane. That I'm like mad as a college basketball fan that all the shit that you're telling me all season that matters, as it turns out, does not matter. Which it's just frustrating to be on the other end on just like the consumer side of basketball. And now I'm like, why did you muddy the waters with metrics and shit? We were doing just fine for years and years as college basketball fans with just the eye test. That was what basketball discourse was. You watch basketball, you talk shit with your friends about which teams are good and which teams aren't. Somewhere along the line, the nerds stepped in, Jake, and they said, I got a formula to solve all this.
It's just the Nets started what, like a decade ago, maybe?
Dude, not even that. It was like a handful. It was like 4 years ago.
I'll be honest, I still don't even know how it's.
It was like 4 years
How
ago,
it
because
comes
I
together.
remember the first net rankings ever in the history of the net. Ohio State was number 1. This was like in 2018 or 19
And then they
or
added like the
something.
quad victories, right? That's recent too.
I think, I don't know, but I was just about getting ready to learn what all this shit meant, and now I'm out. I'm just hitting the eject button and I'm saying, get your net out of my face.
Yeah.
I don't want to see it anymore. Are we cool, TJ? You and I?
Yeah, I don't blame. I mean,
I don't like what can I do for you? Can I get you like an edible arrangement or something? Like what's the protocol here? Because this is this is sad,
not
man.
ideal, yeah.
it
This
is
is
funny
sad.
that like New Jersey, Seton Hall and Rutgers missed, but Fairleigh Dickinson and Princeton made it.
And Fairleigh Dickinson made it on some bullshit, which is
Yeah.
like they didn't even win their conference and they got in over Merrimack because
Oh my God, free Merrimack.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've talked about that.
Yeah, we
But-
had Joe Gallo on the
Yeah,
show
that's
last
right.
last episode. All right, well, I'm
10
sorry.
p.m. for the NIT selection show,
Are you gonna go?
I guess.
Yeah, you're going to
It's
NIT.
Final
there
Four's in
Wednesday.
Vegas.
Oh, it's not in the Garden anymore?
Final Four is in Vegas.
The NIT
apparently.
Final Four's in Vegas?
I feel like I've heard that.
Well, there's it. Okay,
Forgot
so
about that.
in front of 800 people, probably.
yeah. Honest emotions. How badly do you want to win this now? Now that you can't play in the NCAA tournament.
I'm sure I'll get there. I don't care at all right now.
Like if they lose in the first round by 15, would you care?
No, I don't know who I don't.
Yeah.
I mean,
I-
you'll
I-
be a 1
yeah.
seed.
It's hard to. I'm finding. I thought like doing the show immediately. Like I'm telling you, we just got done watching the bracket reveal, and I thought if we do it immediately, it's best for the show because we get the raw emotions from everybody.
Yeah.
As we're sitting here now, we probably should have given TJ a little time. We probably,
Cooling-
as it turns out,
cooling
like
off period.
trying to speak to a man who's dead is not great radio.
I'm death scrolling. I'm death scrolling Twitter and just looking at stat after stat. Of
Well, if you're
like,
watching the YouTube, right?
Yeah.
You
and
can
the
see
worst,
CJ.
yeah, and the worst part about working at a place like Barstool is that your misery is what's best for content for every. I told you early, TJ, that I'm not wired that way. I'm
Yeah.
trying to be the change I want to see in the world, and I want to step into this company and say we don't have to do that. We don't have to, because it was the same shit when I was at Fox.
Yeah.
The best day I had of my show, of my iteration of the iteration of what the show was at Fox, was when Ohio State lost to Oral Roberts, and I was on a live stream, just going through agony, and then I was exactly how TJ's feeling right now. I was like dead the rest of the day covering the tournament. I come back in the next morning, and my bosses at Fox were like, "Great shit yesterday. Our numbers were through the roof. Good stuff. Good stuff. If you could go ahead and have your team suffer humiliating defeat again, it would be all." And I was like, "Why the hell are you guys? Why are people this way?
Yeah.
Why can't we ever have good things in life?" And unfortunately, working at I get the feeling Barstool misery is what sells here. So I'm sorry,
Yes.
TJ. I won't contribute to it anymore. You don't have to talk anymore. We will just move on to our brackets.
North Carolina said no to the NIT.
That doesn't surprise me.
North Carolina was the third team out, by the way.
Rutgers was
Which
second.
is fucking crazy.
North Carolina
That tells you
almost
how
made it.
insane it is. Rutgers and Carolina were viewed similarly by the selection committee.
Yeah. Who was first? It was Oklahoma State, I
Yeah.
think. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we were just never in.
Yeah.
Well, my gesture to you, TJ, is that I care about the bubble. I care about the teams that were left out for probably the first time in my life, because under any other circumstances, like if you guys would have been in and Arizona State or Nevada was out, we would not have spent 1 second talking about this. I would have been like, I don't really care.
Yeah.
But now all of a sudden I care, because this was egregious. I really thought when they were revealing the bracket and like Rutgers wasn't popping up, when we were talking about it on the show, we're like, Rutgers isn't in either playing game. In the back of my mind, I'm like, there's a pretty good chance they're probably a 10 seed then.
Right.
Like,
And
I
then
thought,
Providence could be the 11.
I thought
Providence is waiting too.
I thought it was far more likely that Rutgers was bumped up to a 10 than bumped out of the tournament. I was shocked.
Or they would be that last 11 and Providence would be the 10.
Yeah, something
I thought
like
both
that.
were going to get in.
I never thought that a Mountain West and a Pac-12 team would bump a team that beat one of your 1 seeds.
Yeah. Tough.
I guess Arizona State beat Arizona at Arizona
crazy shot.
on the crazy shot, but
They may have put 'em
Arizona's
in.
not a.
Yeah. That
Rutgers
crazy
beat
shot.
Purdue at Purdue. You
Yeah.
did lose to Minnesota. In
That was the dagger.
That was the
We
dagger.
blew a 10-point lead in a minute and a half, and that was it.
Yeah.
Our out of conference was really weak too.
Yeah.
So there was no room for error.
I formally apologize for Tanner Holden's shot as well. I thought it was just all fun and games and just fun banter when Ohio State beat Rutgers on the shot where he ran out of bounds and then came back in. But now I see the damage that can be done by letting that go unchecked.
Well, yeah, I mean that didn't count, right? They didn't consider that.
You should hang a banner. Rutgers should. If I'm Pikewell, I hang a banner and I say, we should have been in because Tanner Holden was out of bounds. That's what the banner says.
A picture
A
of him
picture of
standing
Tanner
out loud.
Holden standing out of bounds. All right, Jake. Enough of that. We gotta celebrate the teams that did make it. We gotta fill out this bracket. My opening statement on this bracket, just a personal thing. But I guess it is my show, so if there's ever a place for me to get a little personal here. This is a legacy year for me, Jake.
Mm-hmm.
This is the biggest year I've ever had filling out a bracket. The last 4 years so obviously no tournament in 2020, but going back to 2018, I picked Virginia to win it all. DeAndre Hunter gets hurt. I don't think if he doesn't get hurt, they probably lose to UMBC by like 12 instead of 20. So people forget that. I picked Virginia to win it all. They lose to a 16 seed. The following year, I ride Virginia again, and I go down with the ship, and I say God's plan. They're going to bring Virginia a title after Virginia lost to a 16 seed. Got that one right.
Now almost lost to Gardner Webb that year too.
Down at halftime to Gardner Webb. I'm feeling really good about myself after the 2019 tournament. I really feel like I was like the only national guy still riding for Virginia, because after they lost to the 16, everybody was out on Virginia, and everyone's like, "There's no way this program will ever do anything." I rode hard for Tony. And then 2020 comes, Jake, and COVID hits, and the tournament gets canceled, obviously. And since then, I've been a mess. 2021, I pick Ohio State. We the way I remember it is we had too many COVID positive tests, and we had to withdraw from the NCAA tournament in 2021. And then last year, I picked Kentucky to win the national championship because I just thought, I don't know, they wouldn't suck ass in the tournament. And
I was on that.
You picked Kentucky as well.
Yeah, I'd never heard the end of it from a Big Cat and PFT.
So the haters are now, they smell blood in the water, Jake, and they're circling me, and they're saying that I've lost it. They're saying that COVID ruined, it poisoned my brain. I don't know ball anymore. I'm feeling the heat. This is a legacy bracket for me. I've never felt more pressure in my life than to deliver a national champion to America, because 3 of the last 4 years, my national champion pick has lost in the first round. I just wanted to set the stage by saying that I'm really feeling the pressure right now.
So is that the only benchmark for having a successful bracket? It's picking the champion and that's it?
I don't think so. I just think, like, if you lose to a 15 or a 16 seed, that's definitively a failure of a bracket.
Yeah. It's like if you pick the Final Four, but you lose.
Yeah. So that's not, I guess, like, I'm not saying, I want my national champion to at least make the Final Four this year,
Okay.
or I feel like it's a failure. Yeah. They don't have to win it all, but I need a Final Four at least
That's
out of
fair.
my champion. So yeah, that's what we're up against. I brought my manifesto. So one thing I've worked on, and I did this before we came in. So before the bracket was even announced, I was sitting in my hotel today, jotting down what I will and will not do, no matter what, under any circumstances. I have my teams I am out on, because this happens too. When the bracket comes out, I just get so like intoxicated by certain matchups and storylines and like, oh, wouldn't it be so cool if this team and this team met? And suddenly I throw all logic out the window, and now I'm like rooting for something. So what I did was, and I thought this was smart, before the bracket even came out, I wrote like a reminder to myself, do not bet on these teams.
Okay.
Count them out. Count these teams in no matter who they're playing. And that's what I have. So that's where we're at right now. That's how I'm starting. I can rip through the rules as we go, I guess. But I'll do them right now. I'll just do them right now. Can I do them right now?
Absolutely. Your show.
It is my show. Yeah. I'll do them right now. All right. So here's what I wrote down. Here's my out. This is what I'm out on. I'm out on all Mountain West teams. The Mountain West.
The committee loves the Mountain West this year.
Yeah, obviously, put Nevada in. The Mountain West as an entire conference in the history of this conference, which started in 1999, 4 occasions the Mountain West has advanced to the Sweet 16. That's it. 4 occasions since 1999. Mm-hmm. That's not 4 years. It's not like they've never had it's not like that. It's 4 times. UNLV did it once. Nevada and Musselman did it once, and then San Diego State's done it twice. That's it. Those are the only Sweet 16 appearances for the conference. I'm out on the Mountain West. Last year, I thought David Roddy and Colorado State had the juice.
First game against Michigan.
They lose to Michigan.
Yeah.
So I'm not doing that again. I've made that mistake. I'm out. I'm Mountain West. You suck until proven otherwise. Number 2, Iowa. Last year, I rode hard for Iowa.
I had them in the Final Four.
I probably did too. If I can't remember.
They won the Big Ten tournament. Hot
That's
as
right.
ever.
They won the Big Ten tournament. I thought, like I wasn't stupid to the fact, I wasn't blind to the fact that McCaffrey's never been to a Sweet 16. It was just like something in my brain was saying there's a first for everything. Maybe he gets over the hump now. Keegan Murray was awesome, and there was 2 of him. He had a twin brother that played exactly like him, and you're like, all right. And you're right. They won the Big Ten tournament, and you're like, I see the path. Not doing that again. Iowa, I'm out on you no matter who you're playing. We now know who you play, but I wrote this down before I saw the matchup. Tennessee is number 3 on my list. I wanted going into this season, I really, really, really wanted to believe in Tennessee. I thought this was the year that Rick Barnes might get over the hump. It still could be. It's not looking great with Ziegler out for the year. They still have a decent team, but I wrote Tennessee down as a reminder to myself, no matter what the bracket looks like, do not make Tennessee go your Sweet 16.
I'm with you on that one because this team gets so much hype during the regular season.
Yes.
And they always lose early.
And they play great defense, but as I said on the show a few different times, it's not like I think I said this on part of my take. Like when you would watch Virginia defense, where Tony Bennett, when like the national title Virginia teams, but when Virginia was really good, the Malcolm Brogdon years, all that kind of thing. Virginia's defense made me want to like pause the television and just like you like break down the film and like get it cut up and send it to coaches and be like, are you seeing how well this team plays defense? Mm-hmm. I don't get that feeling with Tennessee. They like almost accidentally play good defense. They're just like really physical. I don't know. So their brand of defense doesn't work for me. I don't get excited watching them play defense. They're out. Jake, close your ears. You're not going to like number 4 on the list. Vermont was on my list.
How is a 15 seed on your out list?
Because I didn't know they were going to be a 15 seed.
Oh, no, they were going to be 15.
All right, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I just thought whatever Vermont is, and the reason I wrote them down is because I knew you were coming on the show. I knew you were going to sit in that chair and try to sell me on Vermont.
Obviously.
I've been sold on Vermont 1,000 times. Since 2005, TJ Sorrentine hits 1 shot, and now all of a sudden, every time I see Vermont in a bracket, I'm like, remember that shot? And I move Vermont along. They have not won a game since then. I think they won one of the play-in games one time.
They won in 2010 a play-in game.
As a 16 seed.
Yeah.
But otherwise, like the last year they did give Arkansas a good game. I'm not being a Vermont hater.
They'll never get blown out.
I'm not being a Vermont hater, Jake. It's just I've gotten to the point where I can't do this to myself again. I just can't. Insanity is repeating the same thing over and over, right?
That's okay. So I guess only one of us in this room will have them beating Mark.
All right. It will not be me. Similarly, the other 15 seed that I'm sick of trying to talk myself into is Colgate. I put them on the list. They have never in the history of their program won an NCAA tournament game. This is their 4th tournament in a row. Every time I see Colgate, I look at are they the best shooting team in the country? I think the best 3-point shooting team or one of it. Like whatever, all the metrics are nuts. With like they don't turn the ball over. They have a ton of seniors. They make their free throws. They shoot a bunch of threes and make a bunch of and all of it. Like you start to get intoxicated and you're like, all right, could Colgate do this? They're a 15 seed, right? This year?
They're playing Texas.
Okay, that helps. But like if I was worried that I was going to come in here and Colgate was going to be like a 14 playing a 3 seed I don't love, and I was going to talk myself into it. So I wrote them down. Do not do it with Colgate. Number 6 on the list is on the teams I'm out on, Kentucky, because they lost. Like Kentucky, there was a world a week and a half ago where I think I could have talked myself into Kentucky winning a national championship. I think I could have done what I did last year, where I was like, they're finally putting all the talent together. John Calipari finally realized that Cason Wallace needs the ball in his hands at all times. He's finally realized that like Oscar is not the best player in the country. He just has like a high motor. So like stop putting him in positions to like carry this team and just put him in a position to hustle, you know? They were starting to put it together, but they lost their first game of the conference tournament, which you'll like this stat, Jake. No team has ever lost their first game in the conference tournament and gone on to win a national championship.
Ooh.
That's a Mike Rutherford special. He loves that stat. So Kentucky's not winning a national championship. Also, they have not won an NCAA tournament game since 2019. So as much as I want to talk myself into Kentucky going on a run, I might have them beat Providence.
Counterpoint, they're going to be very, very hungry after what happened last year.
I know. I might have them win one game, but I can't make Kentucky go far. So if I have Kentucky going far, please stop me. Please stop me. And then lastly on my out list, I have coaches with too much energy. I have a theory, and we were at the game. We weren't at this game together. You took a video of it. We went to the Big East tournament though.
But I was at the crazy coach versus crazy coach.
Crazy coach versus crazy coach. And I saw your video of Dan Hurley and Shaka Smart on the sideline, and I thought to myself, neither one of these guys. Shaka's been to one Sweet 16, and I'm not being a hater.
And
I'm
a Final Four.
Same year. I'm not being a hater. I'm being a man who deals in facts. This man has been to one Sweet 16 in his entire career. Dan Hurley has never been to a Sweet 16, and I said to myself, this is there's something about like being like I get it from the standpoint like if that's your coach, if you're a fan of one of these programs and your coach has that much energy, you love it. You freaking love it. He's getting the guys hyped, he's getting them going, all that sort of thing. But I started thinking about it and I was like, none of these national champion coaches are crazy like that, and the obvious corollary would be Bob Knight, is what someone would say. But I don't think Bob Knight was like wired. Bob Knight was never like clapping and getting in a defensive stance and like getting the crowd going and all that kind of thing. Bob Knight was like pretty stoic until he wasn't. And then when he like got mad, he would try to strangle his player or like punch a ref. But I find that like the guys I'm talking about are the guys that are like losing their minds from start to finish.
There's a handful in this field.
Yes. So I wrote them down. We have Marquette with Shaka Smart.
Yes.
We have UConn with Dan Hurley, as we said. Arkansas with Eric Musselman.
You think he's crazy?
I love Muss. I do. I think he fits into the too much energy. I think there might be too much. I know, but I can't pick a crazy coach to win a national championship. It'll make sense here in a second. Northwestern's off the list. Chris Collins, famous picture of him getting down on all fours and slapping the floor, and like he's a maniac. Brad Underwood at Illinois. Fran McCaffrey at Iowa. I also threw in there sweaty coaches count as too crazy because like you're sweating too much. That's a bad sign. So Sean Miller, Buzz Williams, Bruce Pearl. And here's where the question marks start coming in, Jake. John Calipari, I think, in recent years has become sweatier than he was in 2012, and I'm starting to wonder, is the sweating keeping him from getting back to a national championship caliber coach? Is that the problem?
It could be.
Because, like, if you think back to then, he wasn't sweating as much. That's something to consider. Finally, I wrote down UCLA with 3 question marks because I can't figure out if Mick Cronin, like, it feels like he's gotten a little less crazy than he was at Cincinnati, but he's still got a little craziness. And his father apparently tried to fight Arizona fans. Did you see this?
Hep?
Yeah.
Hep, the guy who they cut to every single moment of every single game?
His, like, 80-year-old father got into a fight at the Pac-12 tournament with Arizona fans.
Hep's a legend.
Yeah, and the UCLA side of it was that Hep got attacked. The Arizona side of it was that Hep. I saw like someone trying to accuse Hep of like punching a 17-year-old kid. But point is, I don't know if Cronin is. That's a big question mark. I don't know how crazy he is at this point. And then the other one that's the big question mark that'll really become a problem as we fill out these brackets is Alabama. I don't know where Nate Oates stands on the crazy scale. Does he have too much energy? Do you, Jake? When you think of Nate Oates, do you think of a maniac on the sideline? His off-court stuff, forget that. Forget like how he handles press conferences. Forget all that. I'm talking about, because I think that this theory is born out of this, of like when you're in the NCAA tournament and there's
a longer leash.
The buttholes are getting tight.
Yeah.
And the players are like, fuck, we were up 12 and now we're up 2 and there's 2 minutes left and all that. You need a coach that's like, everybody breathe in, breathe out, relax. We got this. We're good. And I think like the manic energy can be bad. So I don't know if Nate Oates is
I
that.
have a
What do
memory
you
of
think?
Nate Oates 2 years ago. I think it was the SEC championship game against Will Wade, who, by the way,
Well, wait, crazy.
He's back.
Crazy. He is back
McNeese
too. Yeah, he's back.
Yes.
He's at McNeese State.
But that championship game, I'm pretty sure Nate Oates won it, and he just like turned over to the LSU bench, and I think the lip reading was just "Get the F out of here."
That's right. He did.
You remember
do
that? So
Yeah.
that would be considered crazy in my eyes.
Okay. I think this is the tournament we find out. I think if Nate Oates wins the national championship, he's definitively not crazy.
Yeah.
But
And Big Cat said it on the show. I don't know if you agree with him. I guess we'll get to the bracket. Like he says, Final Four, but like it would be
It's
really
Final Four
bad
bust,
based
yeah.
off their draw.
And then the teams I was in on, I wrote these down. No matter what the draw says, be in on them. Oral Roberts, they have the best turnover. They don't turn the ball over. They take and make a ton of threes. Max Asmus is an elite guard. Connor Vanover is
One
enormous.
of the tallest players.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I was like, Oral Roberts, I'm having them advance no matter who they play. I said the same thing about Kent State because they are the ultimate muck it up team. They took Gonzaga. They gave Gonzaga a great game in non-conference. They gave Houston a great game in non-conference. They have the MAC Player of the Year in Sincere Carey. They have their backcourt is senior guards. I love the MAC in the NCAA tournament. I always love the MAC. It feels like the MAC is never out. Like they always either win one game or they come really close to winning
Ohio
one game.
2 years ago with
Yeah.
your guy Bowles.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I wrote that down, and then the other two things I wrote down is Gonzaga to the Sweet 16 because they've been to 7 straight Sweet 16s, and I don't think that this is one of Mark Few's best teams, but I had to remind myself that they're playing really well and they're going to make the Sweet 16. We know that Gonzaga to the Sweet 16 is a lock, and then I have Kansas to the Elite Eight because Bill Self, when he gets a 1 seed, he's been to the Elite Eight 7 out of 9 times.
Really?
Yeah.
I like that. I might steal that one.
7 out of 9 times. The 2 times he didn't. 2010, Ali Farouk Manesh goes bananas against Kansas, and then 2013 when Joel Embiid was hurt and they lost to Stanford in the second round. So there you go. Those are my rules I'm going by. Now let's fill this thing out.
Let's do it.
All right. So we start with Bama in the top left. Is that where we're starting?
Yeah.
In
Well,
the
I
top
have a
left?
question for you. Do you go down? Do you do one round at a time? Or do you
I
do
do
a
one
region?
round.
Me too. Okay. Good.
Okay.
I'm glad we're on
Dude,
the
we're
same
aligned
page.
in this? All right.
I don't like having a team in the Final Four without filling out
No,
anything
hold on,
else.
hold on. I will say though, I gotta follow my own advice because I don't want to get swayed here. I do what you just said, but I have to stick to this real quick. So I'm gonna put Kansas in my Elite Eight before
Oh,
I do
okay.
anything
That's
else.
fair. That's fair.
Because I do not want to get talked out of this at all.
Also, do you go down or across?
I go top left, you go down,
Yeah, I go down all the way.
and then you go top right, go down.
Okay,
and then
we're
you
on
go
the same
back to the
page.
top left,
Yes.
you go down, top. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
I'm glad
All
we're
right.
yeah, this is great news. Great
I
start.
have Kansas to my Elite Eight, and I have Gonzaga to my Sweet 16. Now I can start Gonzaga. All right.
By the way, I love that Las Vegas is a regional.
Hilarious, isn't it? That
Yeah.
like as recently as 5 years ago, the idea of the NCAA embracing Vegas was
Right.
insane, and now.
Now you could have some very big teams
Yeah.
in there.
All right, so let's get at. I'm guessing you're going to take Alabama.
Yes.
Okay.
Texas A&M Corpus Christi and Southeast Missouri. Congratulations on making the tournament twice. If you're watching the CBS selection show.
They made it. What do you mean? This is both their. They've all.
No, they made it twice this year.
They made it twice this year. Twice. Yeah. They ran that back. That's right. They did do that.
Howard too.
Howard too. Yeah.
That's
yeah.
huge. First
Multiple
team-
bids. Hang
first
those
team
banners.
ever.
Hang those banners.
Two bid OVC.
So you have Bama winning.
Yes.
I have Bama winning. Maryland, West Virginia, first 8-9 game we have to deal with. I can't. I've watched a lot of Maryland this year. This is a completely different team away from College Park. At no point in time has Maryland. If you watch Maryland at home, they look great. They watch Maryland not at home, they look like they stink. They won 2, and I get that this is not a true road game. This is going to be a neutral game in Birmingham, but they won 2 true road games this year. This Maryland team. It was at Minnesota and at Louisville, 2 of the worst teams in the country. Other than that, they lost every single game they played on the road. Every single one.
Wow.
I think West Virginia, Jameer Young is awesome for Maryland. I think they probably have the best player. Not even probably. They do. They're going to have the best player in this game. I think West Virginia's playing better basketball right now. I think they're more fun to watch. And for that reason, I'm going West Virginia.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you. Huggy Bear, obviously, they haven't been as elite as he was in the 2010s, right? The last few years, too, they've been not elite they've been bad.
Yeah, they've been bad.
They've been bad. So
They were supposed to be bad this year. If I remember right, they were picked last or close to it in the Big 12. 9th, maybe?
yeah. So it's been a tough stretch for Huggins. Yeah, they made it. They lost to Syracuse 2 years ago, but besides that, 2018 was their last tournament appearance. So they missed 2 of the last 3 tournaments that were held. So I like him with the tournament experience. But great job by Scott Willard. Year 1, getting this team safely. Kevin Willard, excuse me. Getting in the tournament safely.
Yep.
Impressive. But I think also that Big Ten storyline, if 2 or 3 teams get bounced early.
Oh, are you rooting for that? You pervert? You disgusting?
No, I'm just saying, like.
Unbelievable. We're rooting for the opposite. We want the Big Ten to do well so TJ can be like
Conference of Champions.
See?
I'm taking Purdue to win it all.
Because if you was Rutgers the only team to beat Purdue in Mackey Arena? No, IU did.
We were
Indiana
first.
did. Yeah, but you were first. And you never forget you're first.
Yeah.
All right, so we have the same bracket so far.
All right. We're pretty aligned. How about that? All right, San Diego State Charleston 12-5 game. I have to stick with my manifesto here and go against the Mountain West. San Diego State's the only team I would ever trust in the Mountain West to break the mold. But Charleston, and I say this as a guy, and I said this on the stream we were doing. People that have been listening to me all season know that I do not love this Charleston team because I don't think they're not good. I just thought that like they were never actually should have been ranked, Jake. They were never one of the top 25 teams in the country. And I thought that was preposterous that they were ranked. But also, you do have to tip your cap to the fact that they find ways to win games that they should not be winning. And I think there's something to that. I think the metrics are going to say San Diego State is way better than Charleston. But I think somehow Charleston's going to, like, there's some sort of, like, mystic thing going on where Charleston finds ways to win games. The Mountain West finds ways to lose games in the NCAA tournament. So I'm taking a 12/5 in Charleston.
Yeah, I'm with you on that as well. Charleston, 31 wins, tied for the most in the entire country. Also, Pat Kelsey's squad, they were in consideration for an at-large, too, if they lost the championship game.
They probably, I mean, being a 12 seed says they probably wouldn't have gotten it, though. Right? Isn't that interesting? Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good call because then they would have had to have been an 11 probably.
Probably.
Although last year, too, Indiana against Wyoming in the first 4, that was a 12.
They were 12. Yeah.
So maybe they could have dropped the first 4 of the 12 seed. But I like Charleston.
Virginia Furman. God, all right. This is where I wish I would have. We should have waited to do this because
43 years, by the way, for Furman.
I think I want to believe in God. I don't like either one of these. I like the idea of both of these teams more than I actually like these teams, if that makes sense.
Here's the thing with Virginia. In the past, 5 years?
You go first.
It's either been win the national championship or losing the first round. No in between.
This feels like a losing the first round team. This feels like I hate picking against
I'm going to
Virginia.
take UVA. I think Tony Bennett, I don't know. They obviously lost Ben Vanderplas, the big shooter, but
yeah.
I don't know. They have a bunch of veterans.
They do.
Tony Bennett, I just trust him. He's been there before. Furman hasn't. It's that simple.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think, but Furman's boogeyman.
Again, we should have said this disclaimer at the beginning. This is going to change. My bracket's going to change.
Jake's bracket's going to change.
Yours isn't, right?
Mine probably won't. I'm probably just going to ride with because this is excruciating trying to figure it out.
Mine might change.
Once I make a decision, I just stick with it and I say to hell with it. Like it was kind of a coin flip anyway, so I'll just ride with it. Virginia Furman. Who's going to win the? Here's a question for the room. Who's going to win the Virginia Furman game? Who do we think? I think Furman's boogeyman was just getting in the tournament, and maybe now they're going to play loose. And now they're playing with house money in their mind.
Aren't all these mid majors playing with that for the most part?
Yeah, but Furman's been knocking at that door forever. I'll go Virginia with you. I don't like it though. I don't like it at all. I don't.
So change it.
No, I'm gonna go Virginia. I'm not because you said it. Not because you said it.
That's fair.
Yeah,
we can rotate who goes first.
I've been waiting on Virginia to be awesome this year, and I'm probably going to keep waiting. All right, Creighton, NC State. I can't quit Creighton. I just can't. Like I saw him in Maui. I fell in love with that starting 5. Ryan Kalkbrenner passed up the shot to beat Arizona at the buzzer. That broke my heart, and I don't know how much I can trust Creighton to actually like really go really far in this tournament. But I liked him to beat NC State, so I'm taking Creighton.
Yeah, I'm with Creighton too. When we saw them at the Big East, obviously. Who'd they play in that quarterfinal game we were at together?
They played dude, it's all running together now. They had Xavier. Xavier beat them.
No, they crushed Nova.
They crushed Nova.
Nova was never in
That's
that
right.
game.
They crushed Nova and then lost to Xavier by like 22. Yeah.
Yeah.
And even in spite of losing to Xavier by 22, I can't quit Creighton. Again, if you've been following me all year, you know that this is a blind spot for me.
Also,
that like I have a soft spot for Creighton.
Remember
I can't understand
when
why.
in like April or May they got Baylor Shireman and everyone was like,
Yeah.
this team could win it all.
Mm-hmm.
So a 6 seed, I guess they kind of underperformed in the regular season.
They did. They had a rough stretch. Kalkbrenner got mono or something.
Yeah.
And they lost like 6 in a row. But they could have been even lower. I thought they could have been like a 7 or an 8, honestly.
Yeah. So we were talking, I think we'll get to later, that Arkansas Illinois team, about teams that if they put it together, look out.
Yes.
I think Creighton's
Creighton's
in that
one of those
category
teams.
too.
Yeah. So you're taking Creighton as well?
I'm taking Creighton.
All right. Baylor, UC Santa Barbara. I have my doubts about this Baylor team. I've kind of stayed consistent with that I think they're a finesse jump shooting team, and I don't think they're built for a national title run here, unless something drastically changes on the defensive end. But they're going to beat UC Santa Barbara.
Yeah.
I like them to beat UC Santa Barbara. Missouri, Utah State. That's a Mountain West team, so let's go ahead and make them lose.
Dennis Gates, great job.
Do you have any?
First year?
Yeah.
This is our first disagreement.
Oh.
I'm pretty familiar with Ryan Odom. So Ryan Odom, the head coach of Utah State, was the head coach
What's
at
he
UMBC.
ever done in the NCAA tournament?
Yeah, nothing, right? Only pull off the biggest upset in the history of the tournament. So he was the UMBC coach when they beat Virginia. So he's been here before. He actually brought over 2 players from UMBC that are on this Utah State team, RJ Idlerock and Daniel Akin.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's still some familiarity there. I don't know if those guys were on the team that beat UVA, but they played with Odom for a while. He's a very good coach. I think he's going to keep on moving up the coaching ranks. I think he's going to be a high major coach very, very soon. So I'm going to take the Aggies here.
Okay. I like that. But also, I hate that because I'm anti-Mountain West, but Missouri's a fun team. I guess I just want to see the Missouri-Arizona. I got Arizona winning by the way. Against Princeton. I want to see Missouri-Arizona game because I think that'd be really, really fun. High scoring, Kobe Brown versus that high octane Arizona offense. That would be an absolute treat to watch. Purdue will win the first game. We'll see what happens.
Shout out
after
Texas
that.
Southern being under 500, being the 8th seed in the SWAC and getting in.
Yeah, that's right. You're right. Sub 500 teams that make the
Yes.
tournament are always fun to.
And
to
Fairleigh
give shout
Dickinson
outs to.
shouldn't be in
Shout out to Fairleigh Dickinson, repping New Jersey.
for after losing.
Yeah, they shouldn't be in.
Yeah.
They shouldn't be in. Merrimack should be in. Should we just symbolically have Merrimack win this game?
Yeah.
Merrimack beats Purdue.
Or at least let them play Texas Southern.
Memphis, Florida Atlantic. I'm doing the opposite of what I did with Charleston. So Florida Atlantic, as you said, is tied
31
Charleston.
wins.
Yeah. They
And Houston.
in Houston, all three
Houston,
of them, yeah.
I had the stat ready. Houston, I assumed they were going to beat Memphis today. I'm like, most wins
Most
in the
wins
country.
in the country.
But no, now it's a 3-way tie.
3-way tie. Florida Atlantic has been finding ways to win. I actually think Florida Atlantic is a better team than Charleston, and the committee obviously thinks so too. I really, really like Florida Atlantic, but I think Memphis, if you watch them smack Houston today, I don't know how you cannot be enthralled and just like sucked into that trap of picking Memphis. At least that's how I felt. I think Kendrick Davis is awesome, and I fall in love with teams that have one guy that can go get you a bucket when everything else has gone to hell, and Memphis has that with Kendrick Davis, so I'm taking Memphis.
Yeah, my pick here is FAU. This is a straight homer pick. I'll be completely transparent. I'm from South Florida. FAU hasn't
Fine.
been in the tournament since 2002. When I go home for the holidays, when I go home at all, I go to my mom's house in Boca.
Oh, really?
Yes. So
well, yeah, you
I
got
have
to
to
ride
take
with your
FAU.
Owls. You got to ride with the Owls. Then.
Yeah, I mean, Meisner Park. It's a party. All the Jewish grandparents are celebrating. Could you imagine FAU makes a Sweet 16? It's just a parade float of all
where
these
was
grandparents.
did you watch Seinfeld?
I've
You're
seen a few episodes. I need to
what
watch
were they?
more.
What were they set? Yeah, you wouldn't know.
Yeah.
I think was it Boca? Boca del Vista, I think is what it was, not Boca Raton.
I always see a.
Is Boca del Vista even a real thing?
It might be,
I don't know.
but I think I always see a Sopranos line that talks about Boca.
I feel like
Could be
Boca could be like 5 different things. Like there's a million different Bocas, and you just
Yeah, Boca is the 9th episode of The Sopranos.
Are
Junior
they talking
goes
about
to
Boca Raton?
Yeah.
All right. There you go.
Shout out
Well,
Boca.
there you go. Florida Atlantic.
Yeah.
That's as good a reason as any to pick him to win.
Exactly.
Duke Oral Roberts. Again, this is not anti-Duke. Duke is playing great basketball. I'm at like a 4.5. I want to say on the Duke panic meter that like they might actually go to a Final Four, win a national championship. I'm like 4.5. They still have a ways to go, but they're playing really well. Rolled through the ACC tournament. They're red hot. I wrote down before I even saw the bracket to pick Oral Roberts to win, whoever they're playing.
Yeah, you did.
So I got to stick with it, and
Yeah.
I got to ride with Oral Roberts.
So one of my like quote unquote sharp things to do, it hasn't really worked out in the past, but I still will continue to do it, is I zig when everybody zags, because everyone's going to see Oral Roberts and be like, oh yeah, they're that team. Oh yeah, they have that player. Oh yeah, let's have them winning. So I'm not going to do that.
So Oral Roberts might have
They're
more
gonna be
pressure.
popular.
They're going to have more pressure on them than Duke.
Correct.
They honestly might.
They might. People are going to be like, yeah, screw Duke. Coach K is gone. Oral
Yeah.
Roberts, they pulled off an upset before. So I think, like, if you look at bracket polls on all these websites, I'm sure Oral Roberts has to be the most popular 12 seed, right?
They're definitely going to be the most. I wish Oral Roberts was playing Miami instead of Duke in the 12-5 game.
Yeah.
And then I would really feel a lot better about
So
Oral
I'm going to go with Duke.
or San Diego State. Like Oral Roberts got a bad 5 matchup, but Duke got a bad 12 matchup too.
Yeah.
That's good logic. Go with Duke.
Yeah. Also, are we surprised Duke stayed on 5? I think that's saying the committee doesn't really respect the ACC, despite putting in NC State and Pitt.
Yeah,
Maybe they don't respect the top of the ACC. I don't know.
I just don't. I don't know. How, like winning the ACC tournament wasn't going to break through the top. Like who were they going to jump really? What force? Indiana, I guess.
They beat.
I guess
they beat Virginia,
but Virginia won the league, and Virginia. Yeah, I don't know. 8 losses.
maybe UConn.
versus- I don't know.
UConn, the 4 seed in the Big East versus the 4 seed in the ACC. So they clearly value the Big East more than the ACC by that.
As they should.
Yeah.
To be fair.
Yeah.
As they should. All right, so let's move along here. We got Tennessee, Louisiana. I know I said no to Tennessee. I said no to Tennessee to the Sweet 16. I want to have Tennessee win one game because you got to give me a taste, Jake. Like I'm basically like an addict that's trying to wean off, but you got to give me like a little something. You got to let me have a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm addicted to believing in Rick Barnes. So I'm going to believe in him for one game. And then I swear to God, I can quit whenever I want. And I'm going to quit in the next round. But just give me one. Just give me one, dude. Just let me take one.
Yeah.
Just let me take one hit of this, please.
So back to my previous point, I'm going to kind of be a hypocrite here. Everyone's going to be like, Tennessee always loses early. They're going to do it again. This is when they win.
This is when they win, yeah.
So I'll take Tennessee.
Yeah.
Again, we're doing deep dives in the stats and the metrics here on these picks.
If I remember that was sort of logic last year people had. I think Tennessee.
And they did lose early.
But they beat the shit out of the first round team they played, if I remember right. Can you look that up, TJ? Who did Tennessee play in the first round? I swear they won big in the first round, and then they lost in the second round.
They lost to Michigan. Longwood. The Lancers.
They beat Longwood, but I was right. Yeah, they beat Longwood by 32 in the 14-3 game.
But then Michigan beat them.
And then Michigan beat them. So I like Tennessee to win one game, and then we'll see after that. Kentucky, Providence, same thing as what I said. I know Kentucky, but I put Kentucky on my no list. But that was like Final Four national title. You know, I'm not opposed to picking Kentucky to win a game or two. I think Kentucky's a better team than Providence. I think Providence is lucky to be here. I think Providence is leaking oil. The wheels are falling off. There's a lot of things going on, including potentially their coach fielding offers from other schools right now.
Yes.
They're the only way I would ever talk myself into Providence beating Kentucky in this game is one, trying to build on the narrative that Cal is done. He's just done. This is it. This is the last time we'll see.
If they lose this game, Kentucky fans will legitimately want him to fight it.
And if you want to talk yourself into that, be my guest. The other thing would be Bryce Hopkins playing his former team, and he just goes bananas for Providence and just puts up like 35 and 14 and just like is
that
talking
considered
shit
a
the whole
revenge
game.
Because you left, but you also left because you felt disrespected.
Yeah,
probably.
I think he left because he was like, you thought I wasn't even good enough to get minutes here, and now I'm going to beat your team.
Yeah.
Those are the only ways I'm talking myself into it. But like rationally, when I think about these two teams, Kentucky's way better than Providence to me. So
Yeah.
I'm assuming they're healthy because I don't. But Case and Wallace played against. They're going to be healthy. I like Kentucky to win this one.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with you.
Okay.
I think after last year, Kentucky can't go 1-and-done 2 years in a row, can they? It'd be a shame if I was wrong on this pick. It'd be a shame if we were wrong.
How mad were you when Kentucky lost to St.
Oh,
Peter's?
I wasn't mad because of the bracket. I was mad because I had to deal with Big Cat and PFT talking to me. On,
Same.
on
I was
TMT.
as it was happening. I was smiling. I actually, this is a true story. I forgot that I picked Kentucky to win it all. And as I was watching St. Peter's beat them last year, I was like cackling. And then I get on Twitter, and I see people just dunking all over me for being a moron for picking Kentucky to win it all. And my mood changed real quick because then I was like, oh shit, did I really do that? But yeah, I would not be sad if because think about the offseason content, Jake. If Kentucky loses in the first round again, oh my god!
Are you calling into Kentucky Sports
I
Radio?
think so.
The next day?
That's a Kentucky gold mine, dude.
Yeah.
Kentucky content. John Calipari, hot seat. Oh my god. Moving on here. Kansas State, Montana State. Montana State won 25 games. I don't know a ton about them. I'll be honest. Don't know a ton about them. I've been to Bozeman many times. Lovely little town. Becoming a little too trendy, if I can be completely honest. Has nothing to do with this matchup, but is something I want to get off my chest nonetheless. That Bozeman used to be a lot better, and then a bunch of people started watching Yellowstone and moved there, and they've ruined it. Has nothing to do with this matchup though, Jake. I don't know a ton about these guys. What do you have for? Can you Google something real quick? Pull something up on
Montana State.
Pull
Out of the
something
Big
or like
Sky,
what is
back-to-back tournaments?
Give me like
they got
some
smoked. Oh, their second straight Big 12 opponent because they got smoked by Texas Tech last year in
That's
the
all I need to
3-14.
hear. That's all I need to hear.
And now they've got Kansas State.
Give me K-State.
Yeah, Kansas State, obviously a great story with Keontae Johnson.
Yep.
Not only back or after transferring, but also like being a really good player. Marquise Noel.
Marquise Noel is awesome.
Yeah.
And yeah, Montana State has won 25 games though, which gives me pause. And I said this to you on the stream that we just did that I think I wrote it down somewhere. I did. Yeah. Okay, here's the stat. 13 teams from the one bid leagues. There are 13 of them that won 25 or more games this year. So basically what that means is that all of these smaller conferences were won for the most part by the 1 or 2 seed, like the teams that were really good in those conferences. So what you're getting is a lot of these small, these 12, these 13, these 14 seed teams have won a ton of games, and they're all like feeling really good about themselves. And that's going to be fascinating to watch because a 14 seed that's won 25 games, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And there's how many of them? UC Santa Barbara's won 27. Kennesaw State's won 26.
Asheville.
Grand Canyon's won 24. Those are your 14 seeds.
Yeah.
24, 25, 27, and 27. I mean, it's crazy. So they're all used to winning. You don't have a situation of like a team that was like a 6 seed went on a run and won their conference. There's not a lot of that going on this year.
sure.
So, all right, moving on. Michigan State, USC. Your thoughts on this one, Jake? Do you have any?
USC, I believe, was in an identical spot. They were the 7th seed, I think, against Miami last year.
That sounds right.
But I think
Yeah,
they
and then
got
Miami
blown out.
won, and then Miami beat Auburn.
They lost by
in the
2. It
second
was a
round.
close game. Yes. I don't know. Izzo, I just feel confident. It's Izzo.
You like Izzo and Marsh?
I do.
Yeah.
I know they won a game last year. Besides Middle Tennessee in 2016, have they lost in the first round since then? I don't know if they have.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't remember. I think I'm with you. I think USC is better than most of the country probably realizes. Drew Peterson's great. Boogie Ellis is that guard that can go get you a bucket. Like I said, I would not be surprised whatsoever if USC won this game. But Michigan State, until the Buckeyes beat them in the Big Ten tournament, Michigan State was a team that I thought was poised to go on a run. Watching their guards, it feels like their guards kind of hate each other at times, which I don't love. But I had talked myself into this Michigan State team doing a little something in March, and we talked about it on the show that like Tom Izzo, when he loses in the Big Ten tournament, it doesn't mean a damn thing. So I can't contradict myself, and I'm going to stick with Michigan State because I think they're in a position to do a little something, make a little noise, as we say in the biz.
Yeah, I don't know how I forgot this, but that unreal first 4 game 2 years ago, Michigan State UCLA. So they did lose that first game.
Michigan State, UCLA, the year UCLA went to the Final Four.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was the COVID year.
Yeah.
So
which doesn't count.
that
Do we all agree it doesn't count?
yeah, it doesn't count.
It doesn't count.
No.
It's pretty
It
insane.
can count
that
for Baylor. It can count for Baylor.
Baylor can count it. The rest of us, it doesn't count.
Right.
That's insane. That
half the leagues played just conference only, I think.
It's insane.
majors.
Yeah, exactly. It's an insane thing that like we look back on that and we say, yeah, those results count. Everything that happened in the bubble in freaking Indiana of all places. They play the whole tournament in Indiana.
Right.
And Indiana stinks, dude.
Yeah. So aside from that first 4 loss in the bubble, their last first round loss was the historic one against Middle Tennessee. So Izzo has been getting in and has been winning at least a game.
There you go.
Yeah.
Good stat, Jake. That's why you're here.
Thank you.
I got Marquette beating Vermont. Go ahead and make the case that Vermont's going to win.
Yeah, Vermont's going to win.
You want to write Vermont,
Well,
don't you?
okay. So we talked to John Becker, the head coach.
Why are you... Okay, so before you say this, explain to everybody that might not understand why you're so horny for Vermont all the time.
Yeah, so I graduated from Syracuse, went to the communication school there. My first job out of school was the play-by-play voice at the University of Vermont Catamounts men's basketball team. So I was there for 2 full seasons. As you were a part of a team, I was equally as not as a player.
No,
but
I
in terms
get
of
what you're saying.
the
Yeah,
scenes,
you
like,
travel. Did you travel with them?
travel,
Yeah.
team meals. I sat in on film sessions. Like I lived and died by every single basket for 2 straight years.
That counts.
That counts.
You're on the team. Would you have gotten a ring if they won a national championship?
Yes.
Yeah.
Of course.
Of course you would have.
Yeah, I got a hat and a T-shirt when I cut down the net.
If you cut down nets, you're on the
cut
team.
down the net in the
If you
American
cut
East
down, if you
Championship.
cut down nets, you're on the team.
I will show you the picture after we record. I cut down the net. I'm part of the team. So since then, I've kept in touch with a bunch of the players who played on the team. A wild stat. Robin Duncan is the 3rd Duncan. This is going to be the last year of 9 years that a Duncan's on the team. Ernie and Everett were on the team starting in 2014.
Are they related?
Yeah, the 3 brothers.
Oh, they are? I didn't
Yeah.
know. I really didn't know
They're
that.
the only trio of brothers to play in a tournament game together in NCAA tournament history.
I texted Duncan Robinson yesterday when I was watching
Yeah.
Vermont play, and I said, "Did you realize that there's a kid named Robin Duncan that wears number 55 on Vermont?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, I've been tracking this kid."
Yeah.
But he can't shoot. Apparently, he's like not a great shooter. At least he.
Oh, he's amazing. He's the captain.
Okay.
But yeah,
So what were you gonna say? Before I cut you off to explain your backstory?
why they can act legitimately?
You're getting ready to say
Okay,
something.
so
about,
like obviously it's an uphill battle, but in years past we talked to Coach Becker on the selection show. Vermont has gotten matchup nightmares in the NCAA tournament. In 2017, they were 13 to the seed. They had to play with Purdue. May rest in peace, Caleb Swanigan. Very hard to deal with, obviously. In 2019, Florida State, they had Chris Kumaji. You remember him?
Yeah.
He was
Oh my God.
big boy.
Yeah.
And Fiondu
Michael Ojo, was he on that team too? Ojo wasn't.
That
Okay.
was a little after. And then Fiondu Kabengele.
Oh my God, dude.
So
Florida
Vermont
State
could
was-
not.
yeah.
I think Vermont made like 15 threes that game and still lost by 7.
Okay.
And then last year, Arkansas, very big, very
They played them well.
athletic.
They played them
well.
I picked them to beat Arkansas last year.
Yeah. But this year, you go to Marquette. Who's their best player? Tyler Kolek.
Yep.
Not necessarily a big.
Not a big dude who's also a white dude, and they're used to playing against guys like that.
So if they can lock
Maybe
down
not as good, though.
their best player,
Yeah.
maybe.
I hear
think
what you're
this is the
saying.
most favorable matchup for them since they've been in.
I hear what
playing
you're
in these
saying.
tournament
Yeah.
games.
All right.
So that's why I think it's a good matchup.
Boy, Omax Prosper though, he's a load.
But
he's an
not
athletic specimen.
Is he as big as those guys they've played in?
He's not as
past
big as those
tournaments?
guys.
Yeah.
Boy, he's got some long arms. He could jump out of the gym. But
Yeah. So I'm taking the Catamounts
all right,
with
you
the
can-
upset.
that's
Why
fine.
not? We'll be at the game. Or I'll be
listen,
at the game. Maybe you'll
15
come too.
seeds are knocking off 2 seeds. It's going around.
2 years in a
So,
row.
Yeah.
Why
Why
not?
not?
Third time's a charm.
Why not? Quick break to talk about our friends at Manscaped. Spring has sprung, and our friends at Manscaped, the leaders in below-the-waist grooming, have the best tools for some spring cleaning in your pants. Manscaped are here to change the way all the fellas can take care of ourselves and groom with the Performance Package 4.0. Inside this ball care bundle, you'll find the Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, Weed Whacker ear and hair nose trimmer, Crop Preserver ball deodorant, Crop Reviver toner, Performance boxer briefs, and a travel bag. The Lawnmower trimmer is an elite electric trimmer that provides their proprietary advanced skin-safe technology. This trimmer is designed to trim hair on loose skin. The Weed Whacker nose and ear hair trimmer provides proprietary skin-safe technology, which helps reduce nicks, snags, and tugs in those delicate nose and ear holes. Always use the right tools for the job and head to their website and check out all of their tools to help you upgrade your hygiene routine. Save 20% off and free shipping with the code Titus at manscaped.com. That's 20% off plus free shipping with the code Titus, Titus, at manscaped.com. AstroFlav.com. Your balls will thank you.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to the right side. Houston, I assume you're going to have Houston
Yep.
win. Okay, so let's...
Shout out Northern Kentucky. I feel like we got to say that.
Iowa, Auburn, I hate Bruce Pearl's program. I'll never get over what he did to Jabari Smith last year and just wasted that talent. And I knew we knew it was coming all year. Like every time I'd watch Auburn, I'd bang my head against the wall saying like, you're wasting this guy. You're wasting this guy. Jabari Smith should have been at Auburn what Brandon Miller is at Alabama. You should have just like turned him loose and let him go bananas. I blame Bruce Pearl for Jabari Smith's NBA career starting off the way it has. I'll blame him for everything Jabari Smith does. Jabari Smith could get like arrested off the court. Not that I shouldn't have put that out there. That's not fair to say. I was just trying to think of an example that like no matter what Jabari Smith does in his life, I will blame Bruce Pearl for it just because of how he would not get him the ball. And I say all that to say this, Jake. I'm still taking Auburn because my manifesto says stop believing in Fran McCaffrey.
Yeah. Both of these teams, I feel like, have unfinished business because they both lost much earlier than expected last year, right? Iowa won the Big Ten tournament, as you mentioned, lost to Richmond in a 12-5 game. Auburn, I think a lot of people had them going to the Final Four, maybe even winning it all. They lost the second round. So these are two teams that are hungrier than ever. But give me Bruce Pearl.
All right.
The Iowa storyline continues.
Yeah, the Iowa. He used to be the assistant
Sweet
at
16,
Right?
right?
Yeah, or the Iowa.
Iowa not getting to the Sweet 16.
Not getting to the Sweet 16. Yeah. Well, I mean, they're not going to beat Houston even if they beat Auburn. So.
Right.
Miami Drake, God's plan.
What was the thing you said on the show earlier today?
I thought Drake, the God's plan video. I thought he was in Miami just handing out stacks of cash to people. That's why. So when I see is that correct, TJ? Yeah. So when I see Miami and Drake next to each other, I was just like, good music video. That was a good music video. That was cool. That was a great idea. It was like, I'm just going to hand out $1 million. What do we know about Drake?
So Darren DeVries is their head coach. And
his son's their best player, right?
Tucker DeVries, I believe, was the conference player of the year.
He's his son. So
yes.
And if I remember right, he was an assistant. Was he an assistant for Greg McDermott? Because I think Darren DeVries has taken the Greg McDermott, Doug McDermott.
Let's see.
I think he took the game plan where it's like
He was an assistant at Creighton for 18 years, 2001 to 2018.
Yeah, and he's like, my son is going to be awesome, and then I'm going to get him to play for me, which is what Greg McDermott did, and then I'm going to catapult my career based off my son being awesome for me.
Yeah, so a fascinating matchup. Miami.
How big is Tucker DeVries?
6'7".
All right, Miami is a little undersized. Miami's got the guards. They don't play defense. I don't know, man. Miami is tough. I don't know what to do with Miami. You go first.
So
you go first.
Here, once again, we're going back to my method that I used in, was it Tennessee? No, I think it was Virginia. Whatever. I'll say it again. When everyone seems like, oh, I have this, I'll do the other thing. Everyone's going to be like, Miami went far last year. They're really good. Oh, if they have that coach who went to the Final Four with that random team that one time, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Obviously, Jim Larinaga and George Mason. So I feel like people are going to have Miami here, but I'll take Drake.
Okay. I'm forecast. So this is why I suck at filling out brackets, because this should not matter. I should just be looking at these two teams and say, who do I think is going to win the game? But instead what I'm doing, Jake, is I'm looking at, I've already picked Charleston in the 12-5 game. I've already picked Oral Roberts in a 12-5 game. You can't do 4 12-5s or else you're a loser who's just like...
That's just like...
It's a try-hard move.
Yeah.
So VCU, I'm going to pick St. Mary's when we get to that. I'm going to pick St. Mary's. So I could still do... If I did 3 out of 4 12-5 games...
That's a lot.
That's still a lot, though, dude.
I mean, we're guaranteed
that's still
one.
A lot.
I feel like we're guaranteed 1. We might get 2. 3 would be very surprising.
I got to pull for Drake because because every time I see Drake, I just think of the rapper. Literally every time I see the word Drake referring to the school, I think of the rapper.
Didn't they get an at-large 2 years ago, too? That's really impressive. I think they were in the first 4.
Yeah. Drake, I got Drake winning.
Yeah. I like Darren DeVries. Good
guy. That was a bad idea. God, that was bad. That was so stupid.
I feel like, by the way, I think we only have like 3 or 4 disagreements so far.
Yeah, I don't know how much I love that either. Yeah. I don't know who should be more worried about that.
Yeah.
Indiana, Kent State. Oh my God, it just now hit me. that I have Kent State advancing. I had Kent State as my auto advance team.
But against your guys?
On the I know. My dad won't speak to me if I do it.
My brother also an Indiana grad.
Kent State, Indiana, as I said on the stream, the second I saw it, 2002 Elite Eight, Lexington, Kentucky. Antonio Gates was on the team for Kent State. Tom Coverdale, Jared Jeffries. The last Final Four that Indiana has made as a program, they beat Kent State to get there, Jake. So there's a little wild storyline for you. I got to do. I can't. You can't spend the time putting together a list that's gonna with the. This is a legacy play for me.
You have to stick to your list
because this is the thing. This is a legacy play. The stakes have never been higher. My legacy is on the line. I'm sorry, Dad, but I got to do Kent State.
Yeah, we're gonna go reverse here. I'm going with the Hoosiers.
I gotta do Kent State. That would be so depressing for Indiana if they lost to a MAC school with this team. With Trace Jackson Davis and Jalen Hood-Schifino. I mean, you losing the first round to a MAC school, that would be absolutely a kick in the balls.
I just love the narrative of one of the best players in the country just taking over a tournament.
I would too. I think it'd be awesome, yeah. But that'd be a kick in the day. They lose the way they did to St. Mary's last year too.
They got crushed.
And
they
then
had to claw their way out of Dayton against Wyoming.
All right, Iowa State 6 versus Mississippi State or Pitt for our first. Is this our first
4 game? Yeah,
first playing game.
Arizona
So I guess we have to. How do we handle this? We have to figure out who's going to win the.
This is where I think everyone deserves the right to change until Thursday.
I think so too.
Friday.
I think so too. We have to wait and see. I'll call my shot. Brandon Walker doesn't listen to the show, so he'll never hear this.
He's been on though.
He has been on, but he doesn't.
He'll listen back to himself and himself only. He won't even listen to your.
He won't
parts.
listen. But the point is, he won't listen to this. And if I knew he was going to listen to this, I would definitely pick against Mississippi State. But I know he's not going to listen to this, so I'll pick Mississippi State to beat Pitt. And dare I say, Jake, Iowa State just beat Baylor twice. But Iowa State Baylor are two very contrasting styles of play. Iowa State is a muck it up team. Baylor, as I said, is a finesse jump shooting team. Iowa State could muck it up against Baylor. They did it twice in a row, beat Baylor twice in a row. The wheels were falling off for Iowa State. They've kind of got it back to. They got some good juice flowing now that they beat Baylor twice. But I think if Iowa State plays Mississippi State, that is a good old fashioned muck off, and I think Mississippi State is more mucky than Iowa. Like Mississippi State is the muckiest team that's ever mucked. Like they are disgusting. Right. They're in a front of basketball.
We had them at the Barstool Invitational.
They're in a front of basketball.
There was a war for Big Cat and Dave had a bet on the under responsibly in that game. I don't know if you caught it, but against Akron, they were up by like 18. They needed the over. It was like 120 or something, and they didn't get it.
They didn't get. Yeah, of course.
Mississippi State just plays defense.
They never go over.
Yeah.
So I think if Mississippi State beats Pitt, there's always one 11 seed that goes on a little bit of a run, that does the play-in, and then goes on the run.
I think it's every year but like one or two since they started this in 2011, that first 4 team has gone to the round of 32 or farther. I
don't love the as I can't stress enough. I freaking hate this Mississippi State team. They're so disgusting to watch play. But I'm talking myself into them having a path here because I think that's a good matchup in 11-6 if they can get past Pitt.
Yeah, I don't know who I like in the Mississippi State Pitt game, but I do know I'm going to have the winner advancing. So you don't have to pick the winner. So just put the 11 seed,
yeah,
you don't have to pick the winner. Again, it would be great to have a storyline of the Barstool Invitational champions making a run in the tournament. That'd be great for the brand. And then Pitt, I just think Jeff Capel's turnaround. Pitt was one of, if not the worst Power 5 team in the last few years.
They were bad.
When my senior year when I was at Syracuse, Pitt, I think went 0-18.
Was that the Kevin Stallings year?
Yes.
Yeah.
They lost every game.
Yeah, they were horrendous.
Jeff Capel, also, I think this was a make or break year for him.
It was, yeah. He had the same Chris Collins situation where a little hot seat discussion, and now
So I'm happy for them.
Snuck into the tournament. Good for him.
Just based off personal narrative, give me the winner of that game.
Okay.
Yeah.
Xavier, Kennesaw State. Xavier looked great against Creighton in the Big East tournament.
Mm-hmm.
I saw them in the Big East title game. I went over to MSG for that.
Yeah.
I wish I didn't because that game was over within the first 2 minutes. Marquette just ran him off the floor. I have not seen Xavier's offense look that bad all year. I ultimately I think I came away a little more impressed with Marquette than I was upset with Xavier, but Xavier did not play well. I still think Xavier's going to win. I think Xavier has something left in the tank. I don't know how much I trust them to go on the run that it felt like there for a second during the regular season. It felt like, oh my God, is this going to be the first Final Four team for Xavier? I don't think they're going to get that, but I like him in the first round.
Yeah. So luckily, I went to the Americas Championship, Vermont and UMass Lowell. The reason I bring that up is I caught an 11 p.m. flight Friday night. So I went to the Big East tournament, went to the first game, UConn and Marquette, and then I had to miss the second game. I was like, damn, I'm missing Xavier Creighton. Didn't matter. It was a blowout. It was the worst game ever.
Yeah.
And then I missed the championship game too, which you went to. So I really didn't miss
played it perfectly. You played the Big East tournament perfectly.
Yeah. So Xavier obviously made that run. Kennesaw State fans, the moment they were one of the first teams to clinch.
They're happy to be here, I think.
They're happy to be here.
They're a little too much like, we're happy to be here, which they should be, but also it's like, I don't know.
Mentions that day, who? Just, they're excited. But
I think that's not a good thing. I think that's
right.
But you can make your pick, though.
Yeah, I'm going to take them.
Take them, all right.
Take Kennesaw State. Why not? There's going to be some big upsets. Also, I believe they're the only team in this year's field. Yep, first-timer. Only team.
They're the only first-time team in the field. How about that?
So, and they're going to win a game. And so suddenly, Marquette losing and Xavier losing my bracket. The Big East is taking that narrative of the conference.
The Big East hates you. The Big East hates you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I love the Big East.
Jake Marsh, Big East hater is what the narrative is here that we're getting. Texas A&M, Penn State. I think this is, let me scan it real quick. Yeah, this is the juiciest 7-10 game. This is the juiciest. Both teams just lost their conference championships tonight. Texas A&M was they made it. They both were down big and then made it respectable. Is that correct? Am I remembering that right? Texas A&M. Well, no, Texas A&M
got smoked.
They got smoked. They never did come back.
Penn State made a run, almost won it.
Texas, they must have cut it to 12, and I thought that was good or something.
Yeah,
but Texas A&M.
So these are two teams that are hot.
Penn State had a shot to win it technically at the end.
Yeah. Also, there's chatter that their head coach is on his way out. So is that going to play a factor this week?
Dude, this one's tough. I think this is the best game this has potential to be the best game of the first round. Texas A&M, Penn State. Penn State's just a make shots team, Jake. I don't know if they shoot a ton of threes, and if they're hitting them, they can beat anybody and they can beat them badly. I think Texas A&M is a little steadier, a little more reliable. If it's a 7-game series, I think I like Texas A&M. It's not a 7-game series. I love Micah Shrewsbury so much. Mm-hmm. Native Hoosier Micah Shrewsbury. I got to ride with my guys. I got to ride with Big Ten and Penn State.
Okay. I'm going to go opposite here just because I'm a big storyline guy, and a Texas A&M versus Texas second-round game would be the epitome of big storyline.
That's a big storyline.
So that's what I'm rooting for.
Texas A&M freaking hates Texas. I learned that my one trip to College Station. Their fight song talks about how much they hate the University of Texas. And that was like, this is kind of weird.
Also, Buzz Williams, great coach.
Yeah, but he's a shave his head. He's a sweaty coach too.
Yeah,
I should say.
Yeah, but I thought that's just national champions.
That is true. All right, you're good point.
Yeah.
Good point. Good
just
point.
All right,
all right. We're good. I got Kansas winning it already. I'm sure you do too.
Oh, we both have Texas, right?
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah. I skipped over Texas. Colgate. Yeah. I have Texas. Colgate is
another one of they're in that Vermont category for you.
They're in the
right?
Vermont category. I'm out on Colgate no matter what until proven otherwise. Kansas is going to beat Howard. Arkansas, Illinois. That's also the game of the first round.
I think the West region is the game of the first round.
The whole West region is the best game of the. I thought you were saying the whole West region is the game of the first round. Every single one of those games.
A lot of the matchups are.
Arkansas, Illinois. You go first. I might just take whatever you don't take.
Yeah,
you go first.
Biased, but I got to go Muss Bus.
You love Muss Bus.
I love Muss Bus. Yeah, but that's not a sharp pick. It's just Muss Bus.
So these are two crazy coaches with too much energy. So that doesn't help me with my manifesto here. Illinois. Who's got the better win? I think Illinois does. I think Illinois has the higher highs.
Didn't Illinois win that Vegas tournament?
Yeah.
Early?
Yeah.
Who did they beat? Did they beat Baylor?
I think they beat
Virginia?
Virginia, and it was Baylor, UCLA.
Oh, no. Virginia won that tournament. They beat UCLA, though.
Illinois beat
UCLA, then lost to Virginia.
Yeah, that's what it was.
And Illinois beat Texas.
And Illinois beat Texas. And they almost beat Purdue when they came back in Mackey Arena just to lose. And Arkansas has what's Arkansas's
San Diego
best win?
State.
Yeah, I got to take Illinois then.
Okay, yeah, I mean that's definitely
Because
scary.
both of these teams are just like you have no idea what version is going to show up on any given night. They're both good enough. They both have the talent, just on raw talent alone, to win a national championship. I truly do believe that, both of them. They've not shown it all year, really, that they are legitimate national title contenders. So that game is like you have no idea which team's going to show up. But if Illinois is closer to touching God than Arkansas has been this year, I think. So
yeah,
I'm going to ride with
I just thought
Illinois.
of a storyline if Kansas plays Illinois, which we can touch on when we get there. I don't want to forget
Dare I say it's Bill Self?
Oh. No, well, that too. Yes, I thought another one.
I thought your storyline was going to be Bill
I just
Self.
thought of a random one.
Okay,
yes.
we'll talk about that when it comes. St. Mary's VCU. I like St. Mary's. I think I said this when the bracket was revealed. The type of 5 seed that loses to a 12 seed is not St. Mary's. It is the type of 5 seed that loses to a 12 seed is the power conference team that's like middle of the pack, not that great. Which is kind of funny because Miami literally won the ACC. They're a 5 seed. But I don't like a Duke is a good example. 4 seed in a power conference, and like they're kind of got the talent, but they didn't really play awesome this year. Those are the typical 5 seeds that lose to 12 seeds. A mid-major 5 seed that's just like a complete rock on defense and has like a great culture in their program. They're typically not the ones that are surprised by a 12 seed. Yeah, typically. So that's why I like St. Mary's.
I like St. Mary's as well. As we mentioned, they smoked Indiana in this exact position last year.
Yes.
5-12. Also, when I was watching the A10 championship game today, VCU and Dayton, Evan Washburn was interviewing Mike Rhodes, and there was a storyline I totally forgot about. VCU forfeited the last time they were in the tournament.
That's right.
So they're going to have a little bit of a chip on their shoulder.
That's right.
I don't know if that's going to help them. I'm still picking St. Mary's, but I don't know how many players are still on that team.
VCU and Ohio State were the only teams that got bumped because of COVID that year, right? That was the same year, right?
Or Roberts definitely didn't beat them. But yeah,
year.
There's got to be some sort of motivation factor there.
That's right.
So I might change my pick because of that. But these guys
right
are
now,
we got to play in the tournament.
But for right now, you're
I'm
St.
taking the
Mary's.
Gales.
Okay, got you. All right, but be on the lookout.
Yeah.
Check back in with Jake for his final.
I'm going to tweet out Thursday morning because the first 4, how teams look in the first 4.
Yeah, we can't stress enough. This is Jake's first draft. This is my final draft, and this is a legacy play for me again.
Yeah,
as
but
a reminder
VCU,
of what the stakes
forfeit chip on their shoulder.
All right, UConn Iona. You say this is going to be a good game.
I think this is the game of the first round, right?
I think Rick Pitino has 1 3/4 feet out the door. And he's already the ink is drying as we speak on his St. John's contract, and this man could not give 2 shits about whether he beats. Now the only problem with that logic, Rick Pitino never cheats the game, Jake. He would never cheat the game, and he'd always give it his all. I just don't think this Iona team was awesome this year, and I think UConn at times looked like the best team in the country. I have to go with UConn. I have to.
I'm going with UConn too, and talk about a scheduling dream for both of these programs. Playing this game in Albany.
Yeah.
UConn's got to be happy, but they also have to be mad because a 13 seed shouldn't have
shouldn't be that close. They should be able to bus to where they're in state.
That happened with Vermont when I was there. Vermont played FSU in Hartford.
So Connecticut is technically not in state, obviously, because they have to go to New York to play. Though. Yeah, but no, not for the narrative. For the narrative, that Iona gets to stay in state and Connecticut has to cross state lines to play. That's messed up.
Dan Hurley chip on his
pretty
shoulder.
Messed up. Yeah, he would 100% say something like that in the post-game press conference.
But I'm taking UConn as well.
TCU versus the winner of Arizona State, Nevada. I'll make it simple. Neither one of those teams should be here. This should be Rutgers. Should I put Rutgers to win this game?
Sure.
For TJ?
In the first 4 to beat TCU?
To beat TCU. I think Rutgers, because I have Gonzaga beating whoever wins that game anyway. For the record, I'm picking TCU to win, but I'm writing on my bracket because I'm filling out a bracket with pen and paper here. I'm writing for this 6-11 game TCU versus the winner of Arizona State, Nevada. I'm just writing the word Rutgers out of respect to TJ.
That's so nice of you. TCU did. What's his name? Lampkin. He's out.
Eddie
right?
Lampkin's out. Yeah, he's transferring.
Not great, but Jamie Dixon's another one of those coaches. Been there.
Yeah.
Made runs.
Yeah.
So I like them. Bobby Hurley. This was another. He's in that category of Jeff Capel,
crazy
and
coaches.
Chris Collins. Make or break year, right?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
He was people thought he'd be done last year, and he squeezed in here. They've been in the first 4 before. When I was senior at Syracuse as well. Sorry to keep bringing that up, but. We played Arizona State in the first 4.
That's right. I remember that game.
They've squeezed in a few times, but Give me TCU.
Okay. But again, you can change it once you see what happens in the first four.
Of course.
Gonzaga, Grand Canyon. I have Gonzaga. I already written Gonzaga because I have Gonzaga to the Sweet 16. So I'll let you talk about that game.
Yeah, I'm going to take Gonzaga as
Gonzaga.
well. The Antelopes,
We'll
by the way. You know who's a Grand Canyon super fan?
Who's that?
Frankie Muniz.
No shit.
Random. Have you seen that, TJ?
No.
I was gonna say Jerry Colangelo. I think he like finances the whole basketball program, but I can't remember if that's right. I know Jerry Colangelo is like a Grand Canyon guy too, but Frankie Muniz, did he go there? Or is he just like?
I don't know where he went.
Did he just buy like good acid tabs from the Grand Canyon students once? And you've seen the student section there, right?
Frankie Muniz wearing a Grand Canyon.
Wow. Yeah, the student section is wild.
Oh,
You want to talk about?
Oh no, sorry. I thought they were playing Arizona State, and then it'd be the battle of the curtain of mystery or something.
Yeah,
yeah.
The Arizona schools.
Yeah,
They could. Arizona State, Grand Canyon would be the second round.
yeah,
If they get that far.
definitely.
Two more games in the first round. Northwestern, Boise State. This is damned if I do. I don't know what to do because I have in my manifesto, don't trust sweaty, unhinged coaches like Chris Collins, but also don't trust Mountain West teams. I hate both these teams. I'm taking Northwestern just because they're Big Ten and they're the better team according to the seed line.
I'm taking Northwestern as well, and I think this is their second time ever, 2017. So this is their first time since we saw that meme of the kid, the
crying.
athletic director, the son.
The son, yeah, crying.
Yeah. Also, Julie Louis Dreyfus. Is that how you pronounce her name?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she was spotted in that crowd too.
Yeah.
So I wonder if she'll be back.
Babe City.
Oh, and an absolute lock is seeing the then and now of the AD's son. They're going to pan to him now. They're going to show the meme of the GIF.
Northwestern's going to win because the Northwestern media machine will will them to victory. And I think like a bunch of nerds will be tweeting during this game, and that'll give them the oomph to get over the hump against Boise State.
So if you're listening to this right now, screenshot me when CBS inevitably shows the then and now of that kid.
That's a great call, Jake.
Yeah.
This is why you're the best in the biz of this stuff. Quick break to talk about our friends at Gametime. Created by fans for fans, Gametime is a new ticketing app that makes it easier than ever to score last-minute deals on tickets to sports, concerts, and shows, and they guarantee the lowest price. They cracked the code on how to score deals on last-minute tickets. It's possible with the Gametime app. The biggest last-minute price drops can be found on the seats that you could never buy. Their purchase process takes just 2 taps in 10 seconds, and once you buy their tickets, they're delivered directly to your phone, no printer needed. The app also allows you to easily share tickets with friends via text, so you can get into the game seamlessly. Skip the hassle and enjoy the moment. Download the Gametime app or go to the website, enter your email, and use the redemption code Titus, Titus, for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Go download the Gametime app now, enter your email, use code Titus, get $20 off your first purchase. All right, second round matchups. I have Alabama, West Virginia.
And UCLA over Asheville.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. No disrespect to UNC Asheville, but UCLA will beat you. Alabama, West Virginia. I got Bama. I'll make it simple. They're a better team. I think, spoiler alert, I'm going to have Bama winning a lot of these games. I think, I don't know if I'll have the balls to make them go all the way, but we'll see. I don't know. We'll get to that point later, but I got Alabama's better than West Virginia.
Yeah, I'll take Bama as well.
Charleston, Virginia. This feels like a game that Charleston wins, and then Charleston
drivable for both schools, right? More so for Charleston.
Do you have Charleston, Virginia in your bracket as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
And this is Orlando, so I think again geographic advantage. Charleston.
This feels like a game Charleston wins, and then the Charleston fans dig up like me complaining about them being ranked 18th in the country. And they say, suck my dick. We're in the Sweet 16, so obviously we were one of the 18 best teams in the country. And my brain is like, that makes zero sense. That's not how the Sweet 16 works. But then deep down, I'm like, I kind of have to just eat this L. There's nothing I can really say here. They got me. So I think I'm picking Charleston because that seems to make the most sense to me. That's how it shakes out.
I'm going to take Tony Bennett one more time. It's just Tony Bennett. Pat Kelsey's a very big up-and-coming coach. I think he'll be a high major coach one day too. But I don't know. Virginia,
the brand name works for you.
Yeah.
Tony Bennett runs the ACC.
Yeah.
And all right, I have Creighton Baylor. I don't know who you have.
I have Creighton
Same.
Baylor.
All right,
Yep.
so all right, Baylor's a better team. Baylor's a better team.
Mm-hmm.
I should pick Baylor. I just made my decision. I should pick Baylor. I'm going to pick Creighton. I can't quit Creighton, Jake. I don't know what. Like I love Ryan Nembhard. I love Trey Alexander. Arthur Kaluma makes some boneheaded plays at times, but every so often he makes a good play, and I'm like, you're freaking awesome. Kalkbrenner, I don't think has the dog in him, so to speak, but he's so good at blocking shots and catching lobs, and Baylor Shireman is. I have to pick Baylor. You can't take Creighton. I want to take Creighton. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to take Baylor.
Okay.
I'm going to take Baylor. I want to take Creighton, but
you changed back.
I'm taking Baylor. I want to take Creighton so badly, but I can't do it. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't check out. It's irresponsible. And this is a legacy bracket for me. So I can't make irresponsible decisions. I'm taking Baylor.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Baylor too. And not you, but me. That means I'm going to have chalk in the South region. I feel like one region is always chalk.
You don't like being chalk?
I mean,
it just makes you seem lame to people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But like for one region, I feel like one region is always chalk, right? Like in the actual tournament.
You're right.
So this will be my chalk region.
I don't give a shit about that because the stakes are too high for me to try to look cool with my picks here. I'm Arizona, Missouri.
I have Utah State here.
You have Utah State.
Take Zona.
Okay.
Yeah. That's why chalk. Yeah.
Dude, this feels like upset. I think Missouri plays Arizona. Like the style of play will suit Arizona well. I like Arizona. I like Arizona. I think this bracket breaks well for Arizona. I think everyone's going to try to get in a track meet with Zona, and you're not going to want to do that. They're made for that a little bit more. Mm-hmm. Purdue, Memphis. I think this could be a bad matchup for Purdue. I think Kendrick Davis is a bad match. I think Memphis has some dogs on their team. I think Purdue's guards. It just depends on when will Penny Hardaway start pressing Purdue. Will he wait till he's down 12 and there's 3 minutes left? Or will he do it quicker than that, Jake? Because all these teams, if I have to watch another team have nothing to lose against Purdue and then decide to hit the press button way too late in the game and then not be able to get over the hump, I'm going to lose my mind. I hope Penny Hardaway turns up the heat out of the gate. I still have to take. Oh, fuck. I'm looking at Oral Roberts, Tennessee, dude.
Talking about teams that are in the same spot as last year, there's been a few. Memphis was also in an 8-9 game.
Dude,
they beat Boise State, then they lost to Gonzaga. They were in that game, though, right?
This East is a mess. I hate the East. I hate what this East is becoming. Oh, no.
I'm going to help you out here.
You go first.
Okay. My strategy for these 4 games, second round in the East region.
I hate the East.
You envision a reality of these teams playing at Madison Square Garden? Because that's what we're picking here. If they win this game, they're playing at MSG. Can you envision Purdue or Memphis playing at MSG?
It's Purdue. But dude,
I hope that helps.
Okay, I'm looking ahead though, because Purdue. Okay, I have Oral Roberts, Tennessee.
I have Duke, Tennessee.
I have to have Tennessee lose. It's in the manifesto. It says so right there. 1 Sweet 16 for Rick Barnes since 2008. So I have to put Oral Roberts. But that to the point, if I had Memphis, Oral Roberts, that means I have one of those teams going to the Elite Eight. And now my bracket's starting to fall apart.
Wait, that's a good thing.
But now I have Purdue or Oral Roberts to the Elite Eight. Oh my God, dude, that's disgusting.
This is official for you, right?
You go. Who do you have?
Taking Duke.
You have Duke, Tennessee.
I'm taking Duke because I want the storyline. Again, it's very selfish of me. I want the storyline of Duke playing at the Garden. We're going to be there in Sweet 16.
Yeah.
I want to see them there. And that also goes along with the storyline of the next game.
Okay.
I want Duke and Kentucky
You want
playing
Duke
at
and Kentucky at Madison Square Garden.
So I'm going to take Kentucky.
Son of a bitch.
Come on, that would be sick to go to.
You're right. It would be sick to go to, Jake. But now you're polluting my brain with stuff. I didn't want to pick Kentucky that far. I didn't want this, Jake. I don't want your life.
So take Kansas State.
I'll take Kansas State. I got K-State.
Okay.
I got K-State to beat Kentucky. I don't like it. This is bad. Michigan State, Marquette. I got Marquette back in the. Ooh, this is my get out of jail free. I got Marquette back in the Garden.
Been here before. We've won here before.
We've seen what Marquette can do in the Garden.
Yes.
Get the Golden Eagles back there. That's a Zag play because I think a lot of to your point where a lot of people are going to lean one way. A 7-seed Michigan State team against Marquette team where their best player is a white dude that has messy hair. Like America's going to be like, there's no freaking way. Like, This is Tom Izzo written all over it. I'm going to zag where America's saying upset
Zig.
special, and I'm going to say Marquette wins.
Yeah, so I have Michigan State, Vermont, obviously, and Columbus. If Vermont beats Marquette, I think I'll just extend my trip. to
Okay.
Columbus. And
Yeah,
have to go to the
absolutely.
second
You'd have to
round.
go to the second round.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Um,
Michigan State and Columbus though for Vermont.
Yeah, no, Michigan. I have Michigan State here. Like you have the upset.
Yeah.
So I'm picking against the Catamounts, unfortunately. But if Vermont pulls this off, Vermont's playing at the Garden. Could you imagine that?
would be wild.
That would be wild, But now, to my point earlier, we now have a hot ticket with Purdue, Duke, Kentucky, and Michigan State playing at MSG.
You're
How much?
such a- you're
What's the get-in price there on the game time?
you
app?
are such a storyline slut.
I know.
Look at you.
And that's why
Look
I
at
lose
you.
every year.
Look at
Come
you.
on, that would
that
could
would
you
be
imagine
good.
that?
Would be awesome.
Yeah.
That would be awesome. And as two guys, we're going to that, right?
Yeah, we have
you're
credentials.
gonna, yeah, you're
for the
gonna be
16 and the Elite
yeah,
Eight.
and because there's a lot of these media types that see Vegas and they
There are a lot of them going to
Yeah,
Vegas,
they're going
right?
to Vegas. Yeah, a lot. I've been asking guys like, what region are you going to? And everyone's saying Vegas. 'Cause they
Oh,
wanna
we'll
go out
get to
Vegas.
we'll get to the West.
So I hope
but
Vegas
yeah.
sucks. I hope all those people going to Vegas. I hope you
Yeah,
you don't
so
have
Purdue,
any fun at all.
you got 2 blue bloods, 1 blue blood-ish, and then Purdue.
Yeah. All right. I had Houston over Auburn. That one's pretty easy
Yeah.
for me. Like I kind of did the Bruce Pearl rant earlier, so I don't need to do that again.
Mhm.
I have Drake and Kent State as my matchup. Who do you have?
Drake, Indiana.
Okay. You want to go first? Go ahead.
Yeah, I'll go with the Hoosiers here. I've been saying they're a dark horse Final Four team, so that would obviously continue here, setting up the Houston Indiana matchup.
Kelvin Sampson.
Kelvin Sampson, yeah.
Mhm.
So give me the Hoosiers.
I will take. I want to take Indiana to win the Drake Kent State game. That's a little trick I like to pull, Jake. When you can't do it on internet, the way
see what you're doing,
the
yeah.
way all the stuff, the digital
There's
brackets.
always a 12 versus
you-
13 too, right?
Yeah, you can't do it on the digital brackets, but that's a little trick I used to pull on the written brackets back in the day in the 90s when I'd fill these out. I would have a team lose, but then pop back up on the bracket. So I get those points still. So like if Indiana goes to the Sweet 16, I
Yeah.
still get those points.
Yeah.
I want to do that here, but I can't do that. So I'm going to do Kent State. I'm going to ride with my Mac boys.
Okay, the Golden Flashes. Shout out KB, by the way, our co-worker.
That's right.
He's Kent
That's
State.
right.
TJ, was he was a wrestler there, right?
He's a wrestler there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mississippi. I have Mississippi State Xavier. Who do you have?
Yeah, I have Mississippi State / Pitt versus Kennesaw State. I have one of those teams going to the Sweet 16.
Holy hell, dude. You make sense. Do you want me to go first?
Yeah, you go first.
I have Xavier beating Mississippi State. So
So I
I
have-
can't.
Yeah.
Yeah. Xavier's way better, and Mississippi State stinks. So,
So I'm dealing with the same thing you had in the other region, right? You had 2 like crazy teams fighting for the right to go to
Right.
the Sweet 16.
Right.
Oral Roberts. And
I had Oral Roberts.
Oh,
and I almost had Oral Roberts Memphis
Okay,
in the
that's
Sweet
what it was.
16. That's why I picked Purdue to beat
Yeah.
Memphis. Yeah.
I'll go with the Mississippi State Pitt winner to go to the Sweet 16. Because why not?
Woof.
Yeah.
Penn State, Texas. That'll be a fun game if it happens. I think Texas is poised to make an Elite Eight run. Now that I'm looking at it, so I think this is where Penn State. I don't even know if I trust Penn State to beat Texas A&M. To be honest with you, that was a coin flip. So
Yeah.
I like Texas to win.
Yeah,
and
I'm
to
going to
Sweet
go with
16.
Texas too. Obviously, this
It's
would
too
probably
deep,
be.
man. They're so deep. They're so old. They got good guard play, great defense. There's so much to love about Texas.
This would probably be the most exciting second round game if it happened.
What A&M,
A&M and
Texas?
Texas.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
But give me Texas as well. I mentioned on the selection show. Let me Google it.
Old
Rodney-
Big old not Big East, old Big 12 game. That's and also a future SEC game would be Texas and Texas
Yeah,
A&M.
Rodney Terry. I mentioned on the selection show with glasses. You
Yeah,
know
he
what
looks
I was
like
talking
he
about?
looks like Gus Fring. Yeah, from Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll go with Texas to go to the Sweet 16.
I have Kansas beating Illinois because I have Kansas to my Elite Eight. That was an auto play for me, so you can.
I'll
make
go
sense
with
of your-
KU as well. Although I feel like the round of 32 is always a spot where like the defending champion can sometimes get knocked out.
Yeah, you're right.
Villanova-
You're not wrong. Yeah,
Didn't Wisconsin beat Villanova?
Wisconsin beat Villanova in the in between year in 2017, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like it's happened
Virginia was
North Carolina beat Baylor last year.
North Carolina beat Baylor last year. Virginia, this is not the same thing, but Virginia technically they won it 2019 and 2021. They lost in the first round to Ohio. So like they didn't make it to the second weekend as the defending champion.
Also, a 1 seed I feel like always fails to get to the Sweet 16.
Do it, dude. Do it. Do it.
Must bust.
Do it. You want to do it.
Must
do
bust. Must bust. Must bust.
Do it. I have St. Mary's UConn. That would be a hell of a basketball game. That would be a hell of a basketball game. I think UConn. I trust the Big East, and I trust. Hold on. What did I say about coaches that are unhinged? What did I write that down? Let me read this note again. They can't win a national title. UConn can win one more game. Yeah, and then they'll lose to Kansas. All right. I got UConn over St. Mary's.
Me too. Dan Hurley. That's true home court. A team from the West Coast versus UConn
Yeah,
and Albany.
that's true. That's true. That would be
huge.
85%
Yeah.
UConn fans.
Did you hear the UConn fans this week?
Yeah, I know.
Unreal.
But it didn't help them.
No, it didn't. It was electric.
It was electric, and they didn't win.
Yeah. Also, UConn, a team, they lost in the first round last year.
Yeah.
They can't do that again. They shouldn't, at least.
Boy, I wish it worked that way.
Yeah.
So I have Rutgers versus Gonzaga in this game. I have Gonzaga winning because I have Gonzaga to the Sweet 16. I don't know who you had. TCU, Gonzaga?
I have TCU, Gonzaga. I'll go Gonzaga.
Okay. Northwestern, UCLA. I think Northwestern was a good story. I don't think they're a great team. I don't think they're a bad team. I mean, Boo Boo is awesome, and they can play good defense.
Chase
But
Audige,
I think Northwestern had one awesome week in February, and it got everyone drinking Kool-Aid that they had no business drinking.
And they're the 2 seed in the Big Ten.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
They were the two, as TJ pointed out a million times on the show. If Rutgers beats Northwestern the final game of the season, they were the 9 seed. Yeah. So like they going into the last game, they were maybe a 9 seed. I don't know.
Yeah.
So I
I'll
think that was
UCLA too, and we'll pick it in a few minutes. But just UCLA comes back down from 17.
Oh, that's right.
Yep.
To play the
Adam
Morrison game.
Yep.
Yep. Jalen Suggs game.
Yes. Oh, one more thing on this region.
What?
I had my storyline for Illinois, Kansas. Kansas knows Matthew Meyer very, 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 very well. Big 12.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's a good storyline.
Contain him.
That's a good
That
storyline.
was my other storyline.
Quick break to talk about the Barstool Sportsbook. Attention, Massachusetts. The founding home of Barstool Sports is now the latest state to offer the Barstool Sportsbook. So if you're in Massachusetts, download the Barstool Sportsbook app and sign up today to take advantage of our Cue the Duck Boats offer. Any cash wager of $5 or more will earn new users a $50 bonus bet on the Celtics to win the NBA championship and a $50 bonus bet on the Bruins to win the cup. Terms apply. The Barstool Sportsbook is the official sportsbook of Barstool Sports and the only place to find exclusive bets and odds boosts from your favorite Barstool personalities. And there's all the great features you want in your sportsbook. There's live in-game betting. There's Parlay Plus to bet within the same game or across sports. There's Move the Line and teaser bets. Plus, there is easy and secure registration for deposits and withdrawals. So remember, Massachusetts, this is the one and only Barstool Sportsbook. You must be 21 plus. If you or a loved one experiencing gaming problems, call 800-327-5050 for 24/7 support. Play it smart from the start with GameSense. Visit GameSenseMA.com. All right, Sweet 16 time. I have Alabama, Charleston. I'll make it quick. Alabama.
Yeah, Bama over UVA.
Yeah.
Bama offense versus UVA offense. Yikes.
Baylor, Arizona. Shout out my guy Rim Backamus, who's was a Gonzaga walk-on, was on Scott Drew's staff for Baylor when they won the national championship. Is now working for Tommy Lloyd at Arizona. So he's gonna flip-flop on who he's probably cheering for, even though he's on Arizona's staff. He'll find a way to, no matter who wins, say hell of a win for us. This would be the most fun game of the tournament. If Baylor played Arizona, that will be the most pure, just like adrenaline, fun to watch basketball game you could find. I think at some point Arizona's guards are going to get them bounced from the NCAA tournament. I think at some point Baylor's lack of defense and lack of the hard-nosed defense we're used to seeing, like from the 2021 team that could guard guys. I don't think this team has that. I think Arizona over Baylor makes sense to me here. I think this will be a track meet. I think Baylor could get out to a huge lead, but Baylor has better guards. And to win in March, you have to have good guard play. So I'm going to take Baylor. I think I'm going to take Baylor.
Okay.
I think Arizona's a better team, but Baylor has better guards, and that's going to be the difference. And Baylor's guards are going to play better than Arizona's guards. So here I go saying I didn't even love this Baylor team, and now I have them in my Elite Eight. This is how the bracket works, Jake. I hate this so much. I hate this.
Oh, this is the true 50-50 toss-up for me.
You got the same Baylor, Arizona?
Yeah.
I hate this.
Arizona's got some guys.
They do.
I think I'm stealing a part of my take bit here, but sometimes when they're talking NFL teams, they do a guy off. And if you list whoever has more guys, they win the game. I feel like Arizona has more guys. So I'm gonna go with them.
That's not a bad. If this was a 7-game series, I think it goes to 7.
Yeah.
I think Baylor Arizona goes to 7. Purdue Oral Roberts, dude. You know how bad I want to do Oral Roberts? That Purdue would lose back-to-back years to St. Peter's and Oral Roberts.
After the bracket opens up for them.
After it just busts wide open, and they're like, oh my God, we have to beat Oral Roberts and an overrated Kentucky team to make a Final Four. We got this. This is ours to lose. I don't think it's happening yet. I'll pick Purdue to beat Oral Roberts.
Oral Roberts in the Garden?
Purdue beats Oral Roberts in the Garden.
Okay.
Purdue, although Max Asmus could go bananas, but
yeah,
Purdue's gonna win that game.
Yeah, I'll take Purdue over Duke here. I feel like Duke fans in the Garden, it would kind of be like home court for them, right?
That'd be home court. Yeah,
they play here almost every year, right?
If Duke played Purdue, if I had Duke in my bracket, I'd probably take Duke to beat Purdue.
Yeah,
but you can do what you want.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Purdue to the Elite Eight.
All right. I have K-State Marquette as my other game in the Garden. We kind of hinted at it that we've seen Marquette in the Garden before.
Yeah.
They just won the Big East tournament, and I think they're playing. That was the best I've seen Marquette obviously play all season. Mm-hmm. Their game against Xavier in the Big East tournament championship. Their offense was humming, Jake, but it's been humming all year. What I was super impressed with is Xavier's offense has been pretty good all season, and Marquette's defense was locked in a way that I have not seen them all year. I think they're playing great basketball. I also think I might be falling into a trap of like one of the conference tournament champions like always seems to suck when the NCAA tournament comes around.
Oh, I haven't even thought about that yet.
Yeah,
I usually like to fade the tournament champions.
Yeah, you always fade like a couple of them. And right now I have Purdue won theirs, Marquette won theirs. I still have Texas alive. But whatever. I'm picking Marquette.
That usually backfires for me.
But at the same time, Kansas won the Big 12 tournament last year and then won the national championship. So
yeah.
I don't know.
I have Kentucky, Michigan State in the Garden, appointment television, world's most famous arena. This is tough because we talked about off the top of the show that we both had Kentucky winning it all last year, and I'm going to be the idiot who buys in on them again, and now I have them in the Elite Eight.
I know. I hate this. Should we just stop doing this and then try to redo this entire? Let's just re-record this entire show tomorrow.
Imagine if March
let's just try it again.
You know, like rotisserie fantasy leagues, where it's just like the top half of whatever gets a win or something. I wish it was just not. I don't actually wish this, but like the top 32 teams, the best 32 teams advance. Doesn't matter the matchups.
Yeah,
just best teams.
I'm with you. Yeah. That would be awesome.
But now I have Purdue, Kentucky.
Gross. My dad as an IU fan would actually vomit. He would, if Purdue played Kentucky with the trip to the Final Four on the line, he would vomit.
In the Garden.
I had Houston, Kent State at the top right.
Houston's
gonna win. I have Houston moving on pretty straightforward there. Houston, IU. What are you gonna do there?
I'm gonna take the best player on the court.
Which is
Indiana.
Wow.
Marcus Sasser's out.
No.
He may not be 100%.
He's going to play, I think.
Right.
Especially by Sweet 16
Yeah.
time. If Houston makes Sweet 16, he would be back by then, I would assume.
Yeah, but
Trace Jackson Davis.
Give it to me.
Going
to the Elite Eight.
All right. I have Xavier versus Texas. I like Texas, but now I'm starting to do what we said, where you're like picking these. I have Bama, Purdue, Marquette. They all won their conference tournaments. I have Texas going on. That would be. It's a lot of conference tourney winners.
Oh, yeah, me too.
It's a lot of conference tourney winners.
Our bracket's already dead.
Busted. There goes my bracket.
Yep.
I got Texas over Xavier. Texas is a better team. Texas is deeper. I think Texas is in a good spot right now. I like Texas to beat Xavier.
I somehow ended up with Mississippi State / Pitt versus Texas here. So I'm taking Texas. This would be too far.
All right. I have Kansas to the Elite Eight. That was an autoplay for me. So I had them beat UConn in my Sweet 16 game. Who do you have playing in that top 16?
Arkansas, UConn.
Oh no.
I'm taking some bold picks here.
Two crazy coaches. Two very big time energy coaches.
Yeah, but you're auto Kansas.
Yeah, I'm auto Kansas. What are you doing?
I'm taking UConn. UConn. Danny Hurley.
You got UConn over Arkansas.
Yeah, UConn over Arkansas.
UConn to the Elite Eight. All right.
Vegas.
Gonzaga, UCLA.
This is what I was hinting at before. Storylines galore. Morrison crying, right? This is where it was born. 2006. They're going to show that game.
And the Jalen Suggs shot, dude. When Gonzaga.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Duh.
That was Gonzaga, UCLA.
But this was in the Sweet 16. That was in the Sweet 16.
That was in
Morrison
Sweet
crying.
16, yeah.
Gus Johnson on the call.
So here's the thing. UCLA, if Jalen Clark is healthy, I have UCLA winning the national championship. That's just a fact. I would have started by writing UCLA as national champion, then worked backwards in this bracket. He is not healthy, obviously. He's out for the year. It changed. He's not the most important player. Jaime Jaquez is their best player. He's their most important player, but UCLA's defense is why you talk yourself into them, and they're losing their best defender. That stinks. That really stinks. Gonzaga's offense might be the best in the country. I don't know how interested they are in playing defense. But Gonzaga with no pressure is so dangerous.
That's what I'm thinking of.
Gonzaga with nothing to lose, and Gonzaga with
And they still have a lot of those guys who have been knocked out.
And their guards, I've hated their guards for most of the season, but they've been playing better lately.
Timmy, is Regier Bolton? Is he still on the team?
I think I got to go Gonzaga, dude, because I think I think I gotta
Bolton
go
is still on the
Gonzaga.
team.
I think I got to go Gonzaga. I apologize to UCLA.
I'm taking Gonzaga too.
I hate this.
This is the Adam Morrison's revenge. Gonzaga, UCLA.
They already got their revenge when Jalen Suggs hit the shot.
But in the Sweet 16.
Quick break to talk about our friends at AstroFlav. Tired of being soft when you should be hard? 40% of men suffer from hormonal imbalances and low testosterone, and no one's willing to talk about it. The average male testosterone level has decreased by 26% over the past 3 decades. The situation is that you have a bunch of guys that are depressed. You have guys that don't have energy. They can't focus. They're gaining weight faster. Their libido is gone. Elevated by AstroFlav is an all-natural testosterone booster containing 2 powerful ingredients, Fedoja agrestis and Tonkat Ali. This combination in Elevated has shown results of 250-point increase in total testosterone, but can be anywhere between 200 and 400-point increase, which increases energy, improves libido, reduces stress levels, helps build muscle, and burn fat. Elevated by AstroFlav has over 500,000 bottles sold to men with amazing results. Get a free 2-week trial of Elevated Natural Testosterone Booster. Just pay shipping. Visit astroflav.com/barstool to try today. That is astroflav.com/barstool. Go do it now. All right, we're here. Elite Eight. It's nut cutting time. My legacy is on the line. I need a second to take a deep breath because this is I don't like my bracket. I got some good teams though. I ultimately ended up a little chalky. I have Bama, Baylor. I have Purdue, Marquette. I have Houston, Texas. I have Kansas, Gonzaga. So, 1-3, 1-2, 1-2, 1-3. Dude, all right. I don't care. There's too much at stake for me to get cute with this. Where are you at? You have Bama, Arizona.
Bama, Arizona. So 1-2, Purdue, Kentucky, 1-6.
Yeah.
Indiana, Kansas, 4-2. UConn, Gonzaga, 4-3. So I have 2 4-2s.
You're having more fun with it, but yeah, that as you should. That's good. I like your bracket. Your bracket's more fun. I'm trying to win a national. I'm trying to win a national championship.
That's your
I'm trying
goal.
to win a national championship.
I'm trying to pick the most games right. You're just trying to pick a winner.
I'm trying to win the national championship.
Yeah.
Bama, Baylor. This is the end of the road for Baylor. Bama is the number 1 overall seed for a reason. I think they are the best. They are the best defensive team in the country to me. I know that the Ken Pom nerds will say they're like 4th or 5th, maybe. I don't know where they're at now. I think there are some that are better than them on Ken Pom. Don't care. I know what my eyes tell me. They have every single game. They're going to have the best defense, the best player on the court, and the most athleticism and length. Every single game. Every time Bama takes the court, all 3 of those things are true. And at some point that's going to matter, and I'm not going to be able to. I think I'm going to pick Bama to win it all, aren't I? Oh my god. Go ahead, Jake. Your turn.
I don't know.
Your turn, Jake.
I have Bama, Arizona, 1-2.
Oh no.
This is so tough.
I can't.
This is so tough.
Oh
Oh my god. Give me. I'm taking Arizona. Tommy Lloyd. What he's done in the first 2 years there has been tremendous.
Arizona over Bama. That would be
Bama. That would be an under. That would.
If that game happens,
it would have to be a pick
fun.
on that game, right?
Yeah, Bama. I think Bama would be favored by a 1 or 2. Yeah, it'd be close, man. It would be a fun game.
Yeah.
That would be a fun game.
I'll go with the Wildcats to go to Houston.
I have Purdue Marquette. They played earlier this year. I think it was in Mackey Arena. I think Marquette lost by 5, if memory serves. In fact, I might even be able to remember the score. 75-70? Are you looking this up?
Purdue Marquette, 75-70.
Dude,
Whoa.
I know ball.
That's really
I know
impressive.
Ball,
You do know
I've,
ball.
I've studied Purdue's resume up and down. That's disgusting that I remember that.
Yeah.
I think Marquette. I think both teams are a bad matchup for each other, and it's a stylistic war. It's like it's a kind of game that makes college basketball great because two teams that have very obvious ideas of what they're trying to accomplish playing against each other, and it's just a battle of wills, sort of. I simply cannot write the word Purdue in a Final Four. I cannot do it. I cannot bring myself to do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. And I understand Marquette in a Final Four doesn't make a ton of sense. I at least have seen that in my life. I remember 2003. I remember seeing
they lose to?
They lost to it was Kansas, right?
Oh no, yeah, Syracuse was in it, but they didn't lose to Syracuse.
They lost to Kansas by 1,000, I think, in the Final Four. But D Wade got them to the Final Four. I know it is possible to see Marquette jerseys run out onto the court at a Final Four. Purdue has never made a Final Four in my lifetime. I do not trust their guards. I do not trust. They used to be a fun team at the start of the year. Purdue is no longer fun. They just spam post feeds to Zach Edey and spam like the three. He never gets called for 3 seconds. Every post move he makes, he displaces a defender. He takes a dribble, like a power dribble, pushes a guy back, displaces him, and then dunks it. And then the next time down the floor, the defense gets called for the foul because now they're like pushing back. It's all bullshit. Every Big Ten fan knows it. I think Purdue is great. I've gone on record as saying Matt Painter is probably second in my Coach of the Year race behind Shaka, which, funny enough, they're playing each other in this hypothetical bracket of mine. Also, Zach Edey is far and away the National Player of the Year. No disrespect to Purdue, but your team is a fraud. Your program's a fraud, and I have you losing. I'm kidding. I'm not taking it that far, but I do have Purdue losing.
All right.
I have Marquette.
Okay, so you have Marquette in the Final Four. I have Marquette getting out in the first round.
I absolutely hate that I have Marquette in the Final Four. I hate it, but here we are.
If you won't take Purdue in the first round, if nobody will take Purdue to make the Final Four, everyone says they're never going to make the Final Four, so I'll take them to go to the Final Four.
Okay.
Beat Kentucky.
No one will. No one will take Purdue to go to the Final Four.
Which is why I think it's a sharp pick.
I think Purdue losing to Memphis will be a popular pick for people.
What about FAU?
Or FAU, yeah.
Yeah.
I think
FAU at the Garden.
I think a lot of people are going to pick Purdue to lose in the second round. I have Houston and Texas and Kansas City. That's a barbecue showdown right there.
Yeah. Oh my
Houston,
God.
Texas, Kansas.
Yeah.
Might be the two best teams in the country, Houston and Texas. Houston, I thought, was the best team in the country for almost this entire season. Jake, Texas is hot right now. Marcus Sasser's groin worries me. All right, you go first.
Oh my
you go
God.
first.
I just realized if I pick Texas, 3 of my 4 Final Four will be conference tournament champions. I have Arizona, Purdue. That's not happening. I have to pick Indiana.
So you're picking Indiana to the Final Four?
I'm picking Indiana to the Final
and
Four.
Purdue?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Duke UNC last year. Why not?
Oh, no.
This is such an ugly bracket. But I can't have 3 conference tournament champions. That's so bad. That's so bad. I can't do it.
Here's my dilemma. I'm trying to win a national championship, and
have you said before that you're trying to win a national championship?
These are the teams. These are the teams. My candidates coming in were Bama. They were Houston. I would put UCLA on the list. I would put Kansas certainly on the list, and it would probably be those 4. Bama, UCLA, Houston, and Kansas. Right?
Okay.
UCLA has a guy's Achilles explode.
Yeah.
That's very important to their team. Yep. Kansas's coach, his heart exploded or something. I don't know what the hell the official word is on Bill Self, but hopefully he's back. But there's a question mark there. I don't know how healthy he is. Yeah. I don't know if he's going to coach, whatever. They're saying he's going to be back.
He already had Gonzaga winning.
Houston has Marcus Sasser's groin exploded in the conference tournament, so there's question marks there. Now I'm by default falling into Alabama, but I have it in my manifesto. I can't trust a crazy coach. Fuck.
I hate my bracket.
I hate it too. So I got to decide. Like Texas was becoming a dark horse for me. Is like maybe I have them win it all because I don't want to pick Bama. I just don't want to do it. I don't want Bama to be my national champion pick. But I'm kind of running out of options. I'm painting myself in a corner. Whoever wins Houston versus Texas is going to have to be my pick. I don't know if Marcus Sasser is going to be healthy. I have to go Texas.
Okay.
Oh, this is stressful. You went Indiana. I went Texas. Kansas Gonzaga is my pick.
I have UConn Gonzaga.
This is stupid. I hate this. Why do we pick this as our line?
But you know what? Last year I was confident filling out my bracket.
Yeah.
I was like, I like Kentucky. Now that we don't like it, maybe it's a good thing.
Yeah, that's a good point. Okay. I'll go first. Kansas Gonzaga. At some point, Gonzaga doesn't play defense, dude. At some point, that has to matter. And Kansas is going to have the two best players on the court in this game. I think Jalen Wilson and Grady Dick are both better than Drew Timme. I have to trust Kansas. I have to go Kansas. I have to get a Big 12 matchup, a rematch in the. I have Kansas going to the Final Four against Texas
Again.
Big 12 rematch in the Final Four for me.
Okay. UConn Gonzaga is my matchup right now.
I have three. I just now noticed I also have three conference tournament champions.
Doesn't that suck?
It does, but whatever. We're here now.
UConn Gonzaga for me. This would be a big time home game for Gonzaga. UConn had the Albany draw.
Yeah.
This would be in Las Vegas. Gonzaga, I feel like, plays 5 times in Vegas every year, right? WCC is always there. I think last year they played Duke on Black Friday. I'm taking Gonzaga to go to the Final Four.
I like it.
Yeah. So I have Zona, Purdue, Indiana, Gonzaga.
That's a fun bracket.
This
bracket.
might be too fun, though.
It might be too fun.
So we'll see. This might be. I might do like a quote unquote.
But
like
you can
real-
change yours. That's the thing. You can change yours. I'm sticking with mine.
Yeah.
All right. Final Four. Bama Marquette. I can't do Marquette. I can't do it. There's too much on the line. It's a legacy play for me, as I keep saying. Alabama's the best team. We all know it. Alabama's at least to the championship game. At least. I have Alabama playing for national championship.
So I have Arizona, Purdue. So the 2 seed versus the 1 seed. Oh, I'm so high on Arizona, and it's going to continue. I have Arizona in the national championship.
You have Arizona in the national championship. Are you doing Tommy Lloyd, Mark Few, or are you doing Purdue, Indiana? That's your Final Four, by the way. You have Tommy Lloyd, Mark Few, or IU Purdue Part 3.
I know we've been saying how big of a storyline guy I am. That was unintentional.
That's wild though. If that happened.
That'd be wild.
That's 10 out of 10 wild.
Oh, I might need to put Houston in the Final Four for Jim Nantz. In Houston for his last Final Four.
Yeah. I don't know, dude. You can change it later.
I know.
We're here now. You're here now. You got to ride with what you got now.
Yes.
Change it later.
Arizona over Purdue.
Okay. I have Texas, Kansas on the other side. Texas just beat the snot out of Kansas in the Big 12 title game. Did Texas beat Kansas the last game of the season too, right? In Austin? Is that correct? Am I misremembering this?
Yes, they did.
Yeah.
They won by 16.
So they've beaten Kansas badly twice.
Yeah.
Whew. So that means they're better then. That means they're better than Kansas. But Kansas won the Big 12, but Texas beat the snot out of them twice.
Yeah.
Recently.
Yeah.
I'll do it. I'll do Texas because I think Texas is national title good, and I want to get them in the national. That looks good to me. Alabama, Texas, a nice football national championship. 2 football schools. I have Texas in the national championship. What am I doing?
They just won the Big 12.
All right.
Kansas by 20.
Go ahead.
So I have Indiana Gonzaga. I'm setting up the storyline of all storylines. I'm setting up mentor versus teacher versus student. Tommy Lloyd.
It's Tommy Lloyd and
Mark Few. Gonzaga gets to the national championship game. That's I hate this.
Okay, so my pick, my national championship is Alabama, Texas. And now I'm going over this right now. All right. Here is the question, the $1 million question I have as I'm looking at this. Is Nate Oates crazy? Now, we know that he's an asshole or he's arrogant. Asshole, I don't know. That's it's an eye of the beholder. But he's got the arrogance about him. He's prickly. He's not the best at PR, as we've learned in the last couple weeks. he gets tossed from games, Jake. That is a fact. Now, getting tossed from games does not necessarily make you a crazy coach. It makes you passionate. There's a difference. If the man is crazy, I cannot pick him to lead a team where your best players are freshmen. You can't have a crazy coach and your best player freshman win a national championship. But at the same time, Jim Boeheim feels just as crazy as Nate Oates does to me at times. Jim Boeheim's a crazy son of a bitch as well.
Is he crazy? Or
That's
is
what
he
I'm.
just
That's
like,
this is the question.
Yeah.
Is he crazy or is he just like wired differently? So, I think I'm gonna, and then Rodney Terry. The problem there is like we don't have a lot of data on this guy.
Right.
Now Kevin Ollie won a championship. We didn't have a lot of data on him. It's happened before. There is a precedent, but it's Texas, and I don't know if I trust Texas. Bama's never won a basketball championship either. What do I do, Jake? My legacy's on the line. I think when your legacy's on the line, this is not a time to get cute. This is not a time to try to be smart, to zig or zag or anything else. This is a time to win a national championship. And I understand that this game would be taking place in Houston. I don't think that matters for Texas. That will give them 0 home court advantage. I have to, as lame as it is, I don't give a shit. Haters can chirp at me all you want that I'm picking the team that is the number 1 overall seed in this tournament. I don't care. This is not for you. This is for me. This is for my family. This is for my legacy. I'm trying to win a national championship. This is a legacy play. I'm taking Alabama to win the 2023 national championship.
Wow.
And I don't like it one bit.
So,
and I did not plan on doing that when we came in to fill out this bracket, but here we are, and I'm going down with the ship. So I don't care. You can do the morality thing with me all you want. You can say like I didn't realize that you were a scumbag too, Titus. I didn't realize. Listen, man. This is bigger. Like this is. I have to. I don't know what to tell you. I think they're going to win the national championship. The one thing I'm worried about. I said this on the stream. I'm worried that the call is going to come in from the NCAA when Bama gets to the Final Four, that they can't win the national championship. The whistles are going to go the wrong way for Bama, and this is going to come from the top. That they're going to say we can't give a national championship trophy to Nate Oates and Brandon Miller.
Could they win it and then the NCAA strips its second and national champion in the last decade?
Whoa.
10 years later, right? 2013.
Yeah. Interesting. I don't know. You go ahead. You make your pick.
Yeah.
You make your pick.
I have Arizona Gonzaga in the national championship game, teacher versus student, as you mentioned. Tommy Lloyd was the top assistant at Gonzaga. He came to Arizona, and he's going to beat his teacher. Giving
Tommy Lloyd.
Arizona.
Dude, you want to talk about like funny storylines or like Mark Few getting to a national championship again, the third time. And then not being able to get over the hump because his protege, if that's what you call Tommy Lloyd, beating him, that would be something. That would be something.
Yeah.
All told, I don't hate my bracket as much as I thought as I was filling it out. I'm at like a 6.5 out of 10 in comfort. Like I feel about, I took some swings. I'm pretty chalky. I get criticized for that every year. I'm sorry, but if you've been watching these teams all year, you tend to think that the teams that have higher seeds are better. That's how it works. So I've been watching these teams all year, and spoiler alert, I think the best teams are the best, you know?
Yeah.
So I don't feel bad about going chalk.
I have some
care.
chalk, but I also have some crazy. I have 2 number 4 seeds in the Elite 8. I have a 6 seed in the Elite 8. But at the end of the day, I have a 2 versus a 3.
Yeah.
I have just 1 number 1 seed in the Final Four.
That's pretty good. If you have 1 seed, you've done well. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have 2. I have Bama and Kansas, and then Texas and Marquette. 2 1s, 2 2. Yeah, whatever.
But I have
Screw the
3
haters.
conference tournament champions.
All right. Well, one thing I know is Bama's either winning the national championship or losing in the first weekend, based on my past results. So we'll find out soon enough. Anything else, Jake? Any other parting thoughts on the NCAA tournament?
No, thank you for having me on. This has been a blast.
Are you going to come on throughout the tournament
I would love to come on throughout the tournament.
and do some instant reaction type stuff with me?
Let's do it.
I think this went well.
Well, I mean, we'll
We had
be
fun.
together, I think, for the whole tournament.
Yeah.
Right? We'll be
Probably.
in Columbus together.
Yeah. We'll be
And
here for the Sweet 16
and then
Elite 8.
we both have Final Four credentials too.
Hell yeah, dude.
So we'll make it happen.
Big J's
whatever
boots
you
on the
want.
ground.
Yeah. It was fun being a Big J at the Big East
It
tournament.
was.
Yeah.
TJ, you going to be here all tournament?
I'll be with you.
I'm sorry, buddy.
It's okay.
I'm sorry. Is there what can the listeners do to help you? What do you need right now in this time of need?
Follow the show.
Follow the show, subscribe. That's all TJ wants. Spread the word. Give us 5-star reviews.
YouTube as well.
Follow us on YouTube. Yeah,
Yeah,
subscribe on
subscribe on
YouTube. Yeah. I'm sorry, buddy.
We're on to lacrosse.
We'll
Rutgers lacrosse. They're good.
Fifth, right?
Should we do?
Sixth.
Should I call? You know what? You know what I'll do for you is we should get NIT Stu on the show to preview the NIT
break it down.
and break it down. Break down the NIT
Although,
just for TJ.
You guys are really recording on Tuesday. I think the NIT starts
Starts
Tuesday.
already? Nobody knows. Nobody
Really?
knows.
Oh my!
I think
Nobody-
the game starts Tuesday.
Jake, nobody knows or cares.
I don't think I'm gonna be in the right headspace by Tuesday to watch games.
Does the NIT still do a third place game? They brought it back a few
I don't
years ago.
think they do. They still do the experimental rules where it's like we thought about
Quarters, 10-minute quarters, right?
quarters and stuff
What?
like that, and weird shot clock
Change the
rules and
lines
stuff
or something.
Yeah. They used to. I don't know if they
You
still
guys
do it,
messing with
TJ.
me?
No, I
you guys-
swear. NIT definitely did 10-minute quarters
No, they
recently.
did. They did. Yeah. I swear they were messing with rules. I think they tested out a new 3-point line before
Yeah.
yeah.
I have a lot of work to do.
TJ's broken. He's a broken man. All right. Well, that's it. That's our brackets. I don't want to hear a word from anybody. I'm 0 dark 30 23. What does LeBron call it when he goes 0 dark?
Yeah.
That's me right now, dude.
Yeah.
I'm locked in. I got one goal in mind is win a national championship, and unfortunately I have to ride with Bama. Sometimes that's the way this business works. You have to be bedfellows with scumbags sometimes, Jake, to get what you want in this business, and I'm happy to do it. I don't care. There's too much at stake for me, so
But
my pick is in. It's Bama.
on the flip side, if they lose, you sided with the guy.
If they lose,
Yeah.
I've made a massive mistake, and I'm like, I can't believe I put my trust in a crazy coach who dealt with a murder investigation. But at the end of the day, I feel okay about it because, as I said, they're going to have the best defense. They're going to have the best player, and I think they have a fuck you attitude right now. They have the chip on their
Yeah,
shoulder,
they do.
and I think
Because of all the stuff that's been said about
yeah, and I think Brandon Miller is
He's been
is
playing so well.
so freaking good,
Yeah.
so talented, and that's got to matter in the end. So
Yeah. All right. There
there
we
it
have
is.
it.
And you have Arizona. There you go.
So we have that Alabama-Arizona Elite Eight games is for our national championship.
It's a legacy game.
Yeah. There we go.
Jake, thanks so much. Thank you to everybody listening. As TJ said, please subscribe. Please spread the word. We're gonna have a ton of fun throughout this tournament, and we want you to join the ride as we have some fun over these next 3 weeks. So there you go. There's our picks. Enjoy the madness, everybody.